Util is unbreakable, and points are one of the strongest abilities right now. So people start playing Vise. Then, how do you counter Vise? You need something to deal with her. So you pick into the Yoru, and then you lock that in, and then we just have everyone with Vise.
Right, now, I'm not a scientist, maybe. Okay. And I know you think Keiho is very powerful.
I do.
I don't think he's quite as powerful as that thing you were comparing him to.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's.
I saw the open.
It's the arms race. It's like one team is doing one thing, and then you keep doing. It's mutually assured destruction. Is what I'm saying.
One of these teams wins, one of them loses. It's not anything like this. It's stopping me.
The ancient selectors have so much similarity.
Base race. It's like, the first one to make it the lower fight. You could go so many different directions.
There really were.
I liked my analogy.
It's crazy because you went for the literal nuclear option. You got exactly what you wanted.
It's a pause. I'm allowed to have a little fun.
That's true. It's true. We're waiting to get things going on the stage.
Don't press the button.
We're waiting for Mimi to push the button, chat. Once she does so, we'll be ready to go.
Start the game.
To start.
And I don't have that power.
Well, that's what they say. That is what they say. Well, I did get some word, though, that we are going to have just a little bit of a delay. We want to make sure everything's all good to go. Yes, I know. I am so sorry. But for now, why don't you go ahead and watch this really cool video? I don't know. Why not?
Is it cool?
Yeah.
Cool.
Si ganamos, siento que nos daría como seguir con el momento que llevamos en el torneo. Siento que el hecho de ganar nos va a dar como más tiempo de qué es lo que necesita este equipo. La verdad, siento que nos llegamos un poco justo de tiempo al inicio del torneo y a la larga se ha demostrado que somos un equipo que está evolucionando y haga pasos gigantados. Y si perdemos, sería bastante triste porque siento que ahora el equipo está tomando un rumbo y ese rumbo está bastante como ya encaminado y es cosa de tiempo de que estemos para grandes cosas, para llevar incluso Stage 1 y futuras competencias. Así que sería un poco triste, pero nada, igual es como mirar el vaso medio lleno y se ve como un gran futuro en el equipo.
All right. Well, an interesting thing I wanted to talk about here is he was saying, if we don't make it, we're going to be sad. And obviously that makes a lot of sense. You're right there, so close from being able to qualify for a Masters event. But given how both of these teams started Kickoff, the question for you guys is, who actually had the better bounce back? MIBR or KRU?
I would personally say MIBR because I still believed, like, we know the players on KRU, right?
Yeah.
We sort of expected them to be better than that opening showing that they had. But for MIBR, bringing in a couple of new rookies, right? Like, our stocks on them were high because the rookies were exciting, and then they underperformed, so we were ready to write them off. I am very impressed at how those younger players have returned form.
Especially Cortesia having such a, honestly, bad debut with this team and then really showing who he is, why people were so excited about him down in this lower bracket.
Of course, if you're just joining us here and you're looking at shots of the stage, we got a little bit of a delay on the stage, as you can see, with our incredible team working on it right now, so we'll get that sorted.
Do you think Elspeth has ever actually fallen asleep during the pause?
Absolutely, yes.
You think?
Yeah, 100%.
You think he's just
I think he achieved a level of zen that is almost impossible to fathom, right? Because you have to imagine, to be a player as good as him, his resting heart rate must already be so incredibly low.
Let's talk about his resting heart rate.
Love it. Sorry, this is real stuff. I don't know why you're laughing.
You're right. It's just funny the way he's saying it because it was like he's resting heart rate. I'm like, okay, Dr. Christie.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's absolutely no quaking in his hands. Like, this guy is calm. He's great. So the second that chair reclines, I think he immediately loses consciousness.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. When you see that chair recline, you know what's going to be.
The chair's comfy, but I don't know about immediate.
I'm going to say immediate.
Okay.
I still think he should play from that position at least one round. Just give it to him.
Just go pull the JDM.
Just do the thing.
Yeah.
I don't see a reason why not. All right. Well, we should be jumping into the action here. You can see the players loading up into the server. Of course, we want to hear from you guys. Let us know who you think is going to win. Go ahead and pop off in the chat. Is it going to be KRU? Is it going to be MIBR? Let's find out. But for now, Riot Games Arena. Let's start the matchup. Instead of our tier casters, it's, of course, two people who I love quite dearly. It's Brent and Sideshow.
Yeah, let's get to it then. Finally, here it's KRU and MIBR. Elimination again.
It's gonna be fun, guys.
Structure, man. Just get these lower bracket games to just keep.
I do love watching them.
And the two of these teams as well that have just gone on an absolute surge through that lower
And
bracket.
it's
A turn of events.
KRU versus MIBR,
Fuming.
It's gonna be fun.
Every season start, and you're probably going to be better off.
Well, both of these teams came out with really rough performances to open. MIBR got crushed, rolled over, dominated by 100 Thieves, and KRU had to get their revenge on Loud. And one of the big changes that KRU made, one of the big changes that MIBR made, is to change around their IGL.
It's okay. Nobody's saying anything.
The reins of this team, and they've also changed their composition.
Let's go! Let's go!
When they played that match against 100 Thieves, MIBR's attack side looked great. These comp changes to me feel like an adjustment for their attack side.
Let's go!
Get enough defense rounds here as we see Aspas potentially take first contact.
He's potentially going to be tested up top.
Oh, they've slipped right through.
It's the back peeking through there. Shane's lucky to be alive here, but they know that they've lost control of this one. Still, Aspas looking this way, that way, doesn't really know which way to. Falling.
Oh my god.
Before the trade eventually came out.
Could have been disaster, couldn't it, this round for MIBR, and yet through the falls early.
Through doesn't connect. Oh, Adazin's off angle. Was perfection. Keeping it contained. Leaving it just down to Melzer. Plenty of danger, as you said, Josh.
He was incredible in their previous game.
1v3 though, when you're on 70 HP. Spike is in his hands.
The players are spread. Trying to get 1v1s in this spot is going to be tough.
Yeah, really difficult. Already you can see them just plucking away at him from the sides.
He doesn't have information about Cortesia either.
Oh, the decay damage kicking in. It's the plant down, but how much longer can you survive? Bullets rattling around. Melzer needs something quite close to divine intervention to even stand a chance. And yeah, quick flash through, triple peak in motion. That's MIBR. Puts it up there with a pistol.
Notice that MIBR did not have a plan for re-clearing that Viper wall. So as KRU lurked up short, there was no response, no reaction.
Not happy.
Saving them is the fact that Denim almost got caught in showers and they gave away their positioning. And then Aspas just himself trying not to breathe on top of that positioning truck, not giving away his spot. Collected an easy 2. A great start for MIBR. Again, my big question for them is, how good do they look on this defense side? Because to me, again, the double duelist, the Desk talked about it, seems like a good answer to the Vice and the Viper. Once these sides swap, once they flip, MIBR have got to do better than the one defense round they took last time they played Bind.
They got 100 Thieves, yeah. Putting it lightly, I mean.
They were 8-4 up.
I know. They set themselves up beautifully, but it was a long time ago now. And over the course of these tournaments, teams can just get empowered over time. MIBR definitely shown to me that they're their opponent's map picks, thinking about how they could counteract it as well.
Beautiful shot.
It is. It's nice.
Woo!
Pressure coming down onto Aspas here, but just pistol bullets raining down, so easy to shrug off. Trying to spot potential limb, maybe earn himself a kill for it. The nade is awkward, has to reposition, drop down to 58 now.
Noswood does have a heal for him available, but they've split up just for a moment.
There's 40 seconds left into the round. He got a full stack over towards
Noswood does have a heal.
Cut noise going to the re-hit. Don't think it's going to be pulling any players away.
Both of these teams have been very happy at 4 stacking one fights when you think that it's going in that direction. Leaving everything over to Artzine if this is a pivot.
Yeah. Same might was saved for a rainy day, which just so happens to be now. Players won't be able to disrespect, get their way past this. Only 2 left to stand with a TP straight from behind. Artzine happy to supplement, happy to shut them down. I've got to make a move here. You don't really want to be saving this classic.
Quite nice. They let him save, to be honest. But they're going to go for it because Artzine won away from that dimensional drift as well. So pretty big ultimates, actually. Both of the duelists getting involved early here for MIBR. Those are big ults, especially when things get onto the attack side. But Aspas won't be too mad that he's getting up to his showstopper early. And this beautiful opening shot. So not quite catching the timing there. And on top of it, if we want to talk macro kind of stuff, Artzine didn't get seen on his big push into Fountain. So that's something that he could still do in a future round. We see a pretty aggro setup here from MIBR on their bonus, sure.
Yeah, looking to run it down pretty early. See the wall placed down as well, bait that one out. That's I doing that on their attack side defaults quite frequently to make sure that nobody pushes back. So as soon as that wall is removed, Shine now is essentially kept to the spot, just ensuring that nobody else pushes past it on the defense.
It's a good wall generally, but it's a good ante from MIBR to make sure that Shy can't leave, as you're saying. And now MIBR very active, though Artazine has fallen, trying to take a fight.
Could crack entirely the side open. Outlaw in the hands of Nozwa. Moves Kesnet.
This is everything over here towards A, though.
Yeah, creeping behind. That's a good flash.
Oh, what
Guy
great
gets the
info.
acknowledgement. Yeah, he knows that they're pushing deep past that line in showers. So pressure mounting. 50 seconds left onto the clock.
You've got to know this is a good timing for KRU to go for the execute. They're not
Yeah,
gonna
I think so.
Showers completely alone.
Ooh. That's on literally single digit help, and he's going for that. Okay. Leave Cortesia just to be doing the most here. To the back of the side, Sheriff in hand, 4 bullets left to do it. It's all rattled straight off the shoulders. And Shy just cannot do it all. Time balls.
Bren, I am
What are you doing,
What was
KRU?
from KRU? This is looking more like their opening game against Loud rather than what
Yeah.
we saw from them last week. This was indecisive. This was sloppy from their shooting as well.
Yeah.
Agreed.
The KRU that we've come to
Totally
know
agreed.
and love going on these kind of tournament runs. They're not able to take out Cortesia in backside. Shy's whiffing.
They actually gave them
play as well.
time
Just getting
to.
warmed up right now because it's not good signs.
But a great
Still
ante by
didn't work.
MIBR. Good read in terms of what they needed to do, and a bonus round conversion on that. So money's going to be taking a flip. Molly's up and over the top. Immediate response there. Snakebite at the feet of Thorns. It's going to be nothing to really supplement that, but they are kind of creeping up towards the long. And the players swing it out, but ready to meet the fire in line. They will cross that gap.
Super nice from the MIBR players, fighting that one aggressively. Cortesia is always going to be.
I also
those
like
early
playing
fights on
aggressive.
the defense side, not allowing KRU any space. You saw there the Thorns, as you said,
Oh,
went over the top. Cortesia's going up the ramps though.
Yeah, potentially it could have been doable, but
But yeah, my point was, you saw the Thorns go up and over the top there, and that's supposed to be the timing to go for things. And MIBR just stalled them out.
Yep.
Those
yeah.
players trying to come through hookah were stuck by a snake bite, and then Cortesia and Nozra are both double holding that hookah entrance. KRU needs space, and they play beautifully when you give them the space. Think back to KRU's game against 2G, where they were offered the world on a silver platter, and they looked unstoppable. Yeah. MIBR seems to have
Shy couldn't do
driven them
anything
early
now.
on here.
I
And if you think back to
I
what
would
that means for
recommend
the
her
series
to,
overall,
him to
Dave
save.
would say MIBR have
Why
to
should
win
save?
blind or abyss.
Also
Because,
doesn't have. Oh,
you know,
she has all
both
3
of those maps
abilities.
favoured
But
towards
it's
KRU.
13 seconds
didn't
left.
opt into the open Haven pick per se. But honestly, with the way the crew have been looking, they've been making these incremental improvements to their Haven to the point where I don't know if you would want to take them on it. And MIBR have shown that tendency of at least trying to see where the weaknesses are in their opponent's map pick. They did against EG, picked their Abyss, picked into
Hard
the
luck
Abyss,
for
which
KRU.
we have opted into in the past. You see it kind of again here. This is our second map, but that's quite a while on for now. In the meantime, full focus onto MIBR, and they are just really running away from this. We had a bit of questions about what their defense half was going to be looking like on this map, but
And it's looking good.
yeah, when you win the pistol and the bonus, it's hard to look back.
That's absolutely true. But I'll tell you what as well, Cortesia up to 7-1 on their defense side. Snacking, yeah, in part on the ecos, like we just saw, but also finding really good value on other rounds too. And he's a player that all eyes were on during the off-season. There was a certain tournament where people were looking at his headshot percentage. Now, Brent, I know you're a big fan of headshot percentage.
Oh, don't get me started.
One of the most meaningful stats in the game, Brent always says. It's normally kind of fluff.
Like to find cheaters in your tracker.
Yeah, that's a good point. But generally, like, being a great pro doesn't correlate with your headshot percentage. But there are occasionally players where their style of aiming is so beautiful and snappy, straight onto the head, where you look at it and you're like, wow, this is ridiculous mechanically. And Cortesia was one of those players. All eyes, all attention on him in the off-season. And he's delivering here today. I think he's had a little bit of a slow beginning to 2025's VCT season compared to what people were hoping for from him.
Not a slow beginning to this map, though. 7-1. Fourth time the KRU and MIBR faced off, with KRU leading 2-1. But guess what? This is a different
Much
MIBR.
necessary.
Almost reinvented, I think, with Aspas at the helm. You could have been stuck in crypto jail behind lead, but you escaped that misery.
Yeah. What a loss that would have been for the Americas region, I think, having Aspas over in Pacific, over in Pacific, what he's been able to do with it, or what he's been able to do with this org.
Players, see if they can players, a bit of space, see if they can be long, a bit of space. Difficulties lie though, and the fact that Viper's Pit, the Viper's Pit lay it down towards A short.
Yeah, how do you take hookah control? How do you take hookah control? They're going for a pivot through back of the way, but this is into the showstopper. This is into the showstopper. They pulled Aspas away. They pulled Aspas away through this choke point against the showstopper here, surely.
I'm onto the corner as well. Do you even expect the corner as well? Do you even expect
They slightly pulled Chen over towards A, with Aspas not seeing any entrance. He's starting to drift back to the site that Crew are ending on 50 seconds, ending on 50 seconds, and this macro game has not worked for Crew.
Nope. No.
He's going to be fading at some point, but we'll see if he ends up spinning to it early. 40 seconds on the mark.
I think he's got about another 10 seconds left on it.
Flash into the corner. Get some sort of connection here. It's going to be all the like to try and load this up. Open the site for the Crew. Oswald creeping inside that elbow smoke, and noise has been cut as well. Uncertainty. But as soon as you hear the footsteps as well, now's the time to strike. Coverage.
It is.
Be called for. 20 seconds left. They have to clear out this hookah player as in. Happy feet. Dodge and weave around the bullets. Can't dodge most of that still. Cortesia. Happy to oblige right from the flank now, but let me.
I hope Crew wins this one.
Serves as well for Kisney. He's got a showstopper. Sitting in the back pocket.
It's their map. It's their selection, so that's good.
Turn up the heat. What a slow run from Crew.
Let's go.
Got the job done.
Good job.
Entrance through B-Long. Kesnick cracks things open for
Yeah.
That was a tough round to crack.
It was actually.
There it is, the Brimalt. And Kesnick hopping up on top of this hut. That was how they got themselves in. And then navigated around the operator pretty nicely too. I thought Ardazine was good for one for sure. That was a spot where Melzer played his life beautifully.
Yeah, could have gone poorly for them, but another big test for Cortesia.
Yeah.
All in the face of a few of the players' Crew just happy to show off the rifles. Praying that they can get that early pick. Flash the boom broken. Dog as well.
Yeah.
All Crew just try and gain control of B-Long.
And once more, they have the operator on one side of the map and the showstopper on the other. So
Yeah.
It's really difficult for Crew to get in. They're trying to play these slow rounds so that they wait out the gate crashes from Ardazine. His final gate crash is about to expire soon, just closed.
Split away. Whoa, skip the hop across as well with the TP. Straight back and away. Shane Molly at the feet. Willing to step over the line.
40 seconds left.
I don't know.
B-side. If Cortesia dies on this flank, Crew could still pivot back to B.
Yeah.
Slow play. In the name of the game here, Crew now. Seek is going to be leading the chance to top up the flash as well. White dead in. It's going to be an old popped off. Shane no more for this war, but up and over. Comes around as well. Aspas. Happy to return that fire once more. Tizzy. Where the hell is he getting these op shots from? Inside the smokes as well. Throw it around. MIBR just dropping the absolute hammer onto that Crew exit.
Yeah.
Crew are trying to do so
right.
much with their default. Up towards B early on, wait out the gate crashes, find out where Ardazine is playing, hit the opposite side of the site. And yet, it was so difficult because at all times, Aspas is just holding onto this showstopper. He pops it with 28 seconds left on the clock. And at that point, you are never getting the spike down. They still haven't forced out nades.
I feel bad for Crew.
Come through the smoke.
Oh my
But
god.
now,
I feel bad for
finally,
them.
Crew do not have to worry about that showstopper on the other side. The problem is, they've got no guns now.
You just have to worry about the money.
Yeah.
Aspas. Oh my god, so willing to disrespect as well. Backing out on the way. Kisney hot on the heels, but not the kind of choice to really do a lot of damage with that still. Dominating the angles, taking control, trying to weave back into the smokes, and Aspas is going to be punished as a result. Steel Garden now. Sweeping, emanating straight the way out.
Shenom didn't get his cancelled. Still got this gun.
And still a Showers control as well. crucial element to throw into the mix, into the round, but it causes the TPs. Mass evacuation. KRU want nothing to do with it. They burn themselves an open B site for their troubles. Still drifting in and out as well, catching these rotators. Clone, taking a bullet, get down, Mr. President. Cortesia right there behind them. And with these rifles, maybe they can get their way back in. Kesnit with the
what?
Range, still can't do the work. But Shy cleans it up anyway.
This slow defaulting that Versa is calling actually working out in 2 out of the last 3 rounds. He calls quite a quick beginning to the round over towards A short, makes it feel like an all-in committal on the eco. And they drag everybody off B. Pretty big error actually from MIBR. Not leaving even a single player to defend in case the teleport was hit. Artazine doesn't have a gate crash. And now the economy flips completely on its head. KRU have got an opportunity to get back into this game.
That pack mentality, the desk was talking about it. KRU willing to group up. Anti-flash played as well, so Kesnit is the bait on the end of a stick. Maybe he gets lucky with a pick. In case they do try and refight over that space. Now we can see MIBR, no intention of that. Ratty positions with the shotguns.
And again, Adverso calling a slow round, waiting for the gate crash to expire. Artazine now has no ability to exit hookah, no ability to go and reinforce the A site.
Yeah.
Trailblazer. Not going to be leading them too far forwards.
One of the problems, Bren, with some of this calling could be that on a round like this, when MIBR are more likely to take risks and stack, you might end up running the time a little too low, but KRU are trying to pick this before the 30-second
They're playing
mark,
so slow.
and they have found the weak
They're
side
playing
as well.
so slow. Oh, 3 people are
That's
at
gonna be
B,
looking
and they're back.
down. Lamps control, Molly up and
Yeah,
over as
Brim
well.
and Raze is
Delay,
back.
Deny. But pretty important fight. Aspas wins it. Close quarters combat. That's what the Stinger's going to be called for.
It's 20 seconds.
And here it is. Kesnit, plant, down. Nothing else to really delay and deny this one. Still, it's
Snakebite across the map.
Oh,
Snake
12
Party
seconds.
dropped down. They've got the lineups
12
for this one as well.
seconds.
Shorty's in their hands. Dominate the positions into the smokes. There's only 7 seconds remaining. And chaos has been scattered straight all across the site.
Finally.
An attempt now from MIBR. They got the weaker guns, but it might not even matter one bit. Picking up the upgrade. Aspas, the goat himself, steps up to that challenge. And they know that they've got KRU corralled into the corner. Out through short, flash to the side, broken almost immediately at that. Kills the flood in, and the feed is filling up with red. KRU might have just done enough. Cortesia out in the open, just the pistol.
Oh,
A trade shortly
good
after
job.
from Mazzino. So it got dicey,
Good job.
got a bit worrying. But still, it's KRU able to navigate their way through.
I was scared. It
There
was
you see
4-0,
the
you
danger
know. It was
that's gonna be
4-0.
present when you call
Damn.
those kind of slow rounds, but the composure as well from KRU to be able to sail through those waters. They had 2 players inside that defense brim smoke, knowing that somebody was going to be jumping in there with a shorty. The
Yeah.
awareness is good. They're thinking about how MIBR are going to try to set up win conditions. So now we get back to a rifle situation. Artazine once more with an operator in hand, makes his way over towards Showers. And think about the conditioning here. MIBR are expecting KRU to play slowly. Pressure at the start for sure, but not go into a fast exec.
Oh, they're
Line's
faking it.
torn off pretty early.
Yeah, once
faking it.
more, a little bit of defaulting, take an
Faking
area,
B.
but then slow things down.
Yeah, they're faking.
We've already seen MMBR's anti-plant utility come through really strongly. Cortesia has that cross-map snake
But
bite
there's
from B.
Yoru.
Shenam's got the Brimstone
There's
lineup. Now he's got the Brim
Yoru.
ultimate to play with.
Unaware.
KRU can't play this too slowly, and with a minute left, they're already in lamps.
Yeah, Shanum now.
Yeah.
repositioned.
Yoru knows. Oh,
The wall just
that
threatens
timing.
they could have
Oh my
worked across, and
god.
now we know that they
Oh.
have double faced up towards the back of the site. That's KRU with that first blood. Still no Showers control for them. Artazine looking around trying to dodge and weave past most of this one, but okay, TB's back into the fight. Maybe just trying to avoid these angles. Snakebite over the top, nothing else to combo with it, so nothing to dissuade the plant. And KRU at this point forcing the issue for MIBR and forcing them potentially into just a save.
I think this is a save. Yeah, we'll see whether Aspas and Nozwa try anything, but KRU pulling out a really nice idea in a round that was swing for the MIBR economy. They did the same thing they tried on the pistol round. Clearly a bit of an anti against how MIBR play defense.
Don't go.
MIBR don't have very good reclear protocols over towards short.
The guns are important to remove here, but even more so, don't really want to be building up Aspas to that showstopper.
So Bren, you know how I talked about MIBR having the good anti-plant utility, where, for example, they're throwing the Brim Molly. I mean, not that Brim Molly, that was a bit of a minus 200 from Melzer. But Genom is holding it,
minus
waiting for the
200.
tap, and then he'll fire his Brim Molly. What that means is he isn't using it to deny a wave of Viper util. So when the wall goes up, threatening the lurk into lamps, normally teams will have a molly that they'll throw, or they'll spam into it, or they'll do some kind of, you know, a nade over there, or a boom bot. Some piece of util will try to cancel out that lurk coming down through into lamps. MIBR are doing none of that. They're saving their utility, and they're just saying, okay, I don't think you're actually going to lurk into lamps as much as you're threatening. And then if you do it occasionally, all right, we'll take the L. And so KRU are doing it more often than usual. You will not usually see teams go for these, you know, 4-person lurks straight down the Viper wall into lamps. But they've got a hard read on how MIBR are playing right now. And MIBR need to shift some stuff up. Maybe have, you know, maybe have Cortesia play inside lamps, for example. Maybe do some kind of double hold with lamps and pocket.
Yeah.
Perhaps push out through showers so that even if you
Yeah,
give up
they
lamps,
they needed
you're
this
not
time
too
out.
worried about things.
They
'cause
definitely
they
needed
left
this time
Xiao
out.
in the back of sight there to just get timinged.
Yeah, overwhelmed.
He can't cover that many positions at once. I think if you're looking at the grand picture though here, if we're expecting MIBR's compositional adjustments to be good on the attack side, and to be able to actually give KRU's Vice and Viper a run for their money, they might have done enough with 5. We're going to still keep track of the next 3 rounds, of course, but I don't think MIBR will be too mad even if they lose.
When I usually play on Bind, I prefer Breach. It's so good for me. It has always worked out when I play Breach on my Bind maps. So it's good.
Ended early to try and deny them from taking control of this one, but
But they didn't use Breach because they and who is their initializer then? Initiator. I don't know. It's okay.
Snit on a fantastic angle. High ground. Do the damage here. Aspas hard committed onto the corner. Cleans up almost instantaneously. It's a showstopper. Let loose and around. And also was traded out with the bullets before that could even get any sort of value. The snake bites. So
Yeah.
Onto the feet. It's going to make it really difficult to try and get the hell through.
And Artisan's come into this round with a glass cannon Vandal. No armor.
Yeah, good luck at this point. 2v3.
Yeah.
Heroics.
They saved last round.
Needed
so.
flash through and around. Patience played done by these KRU players, and the right timings are just there for them. This is 5-5.
Bit of a rough adjustment coming out of the timeout there. Not a fan of what MIBR showcased.
Had a wonderful
they used the molly
save.
early,
And
so they did adjust that. They're not trying to hold their util to deny plant. They're trying to use it early, but they're controlling showers instead of trying to push out showers. Which means that by the time they go back over towards the site, they've already lost all of these angles. God. It looks like a ridiculous shot, but that's exactly what Kesnit's looking for. One moment, one opportunity like that. Shenum falls again, and there goes the orbital strike to do anything like reclear over towards lamps. They have to make an adjustment, and in this round they have. They put Artazine in lamps with a Bucky. He's begging KRU to do the same thing they've done for the last few rounds in a row.
I was wondering if they were going to go for that play, because when KRU are contacting around the map, an op is a good answer, but Artazine was just getting avoided most of the rounds that he had it.
He would have to be upping down short in order to be taking contact in those spots.
I was wondering when were they going to put Artazine in there, if they want to just have him with the backup policy of being able to evacuate.
I think, though, when you're ahead like this, you can start to anticipate what your opponents are going to do.
Yeah.
And KRU, I'd be surprised if they spend the next 2 rounds doing that same play. They've kind of got the value out of it that they were looking for.
Yeah, they do it.
Same thing to keep in the back of your mind here, though.
Mm-hmm.
Orbital strike, showstopper, available for the defense.
And they hear that jump spot. They were primed and ready, waiting for the second round of things to go. The ults could still spell a bit of problem. At least out for KRU here, Artazine. Inside tube, and he's right into him though. Bucky in hand, a bit of spam, and through KRU surrounding.
They need to deal with him quickly.
Still, snare closing, like you said, time is getting away from
not
them.
moving out.
TP is called for, already back into the fight. That puts him in orbital strike range if they want to go for it. 20 seconds left, do you choose to commit it? Being held into the back pocket, just trying to hold to see if they can catch that timing. Shy, lucky to be alive, but almost pulling the bullet into the back of Shaynum. KRU have just been running rings around MIBR so far. Aspas. Step up, though.
I don't know.
It's two players
Let's
what?
And why is this?
Over the strike as well. The piece of mind. Push them back all the way. This is a plan inside a tube. Can Shaky play this one? Spam. It's going to be caught for, but can he get onto the line? The answer is no.
Crazy.
That is absurd.
There's the individual play that you're looking for with Aspas on MIBR. He's 15-5 in this map. But a lot of it's been that soft influence of holding down one half, having the showstopper, getting it up regularly. This round was pure brilliance.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I was ready to give up in that instance. You see a 2v4?
Yeah. Huge play from the player that's taken MIBR from a team that even the Brazilian fans were not too keen on to a top 4 spot in Kickoff.
Relevancy. And an early pick as well. Kesnit toppled. Trying to fight for control of Hookah. There's a bit of fluidity to the approach, but it's going to be punished.
He was blinded.
When the money's flourishing,
He was blinded.
Punish one of the peaks. Not expecting that.
So he... Oh, it's the last round.
KRU with a heavy presence here, thinking about the Vice ult.
Nozo's head just peeking over the top.
It's the last round.
Be able to find that angle. Steergarden does not connect. Shaynum's alive with the gun out, primed and ready. In through Alba, but he needs a timing to take, and he's just going to take it in.
Oh!
It's a bit of a score, at least at the end there. For KRU might be kicking themselves, I think. For just
it's easy for MIBR. I believe.
Momentous opening now. MIBR going to go for a little bit more here. Shy. Wait a second, wins out that fight, 2v2 now. Smoke still bloomed and blossomed and says, why not?
It's done.
Time to do it.
It's done.
Players are in though. Grabs from that window, a bit of spam and stray with the bullets going. This way, that way, highlighting. And Aspas, wick burning, options limited, Adverso.
It was a good try. It was definitely a good try.
Good IGLing from Adverso to get KRU back into this half. A devastating loss in round 11 to an individual play from Aspas, but I think MIBR will be fairly happy about what they put together on that defense side. Bearing in mind that they only got one defense round against 100 Thieves last time they played Bind here.
So already looking a lot better here for MIBR, 6-6. It's a map where KRU would expect to be potentially favored on, but the ideas are being put in by MIBR. The KRU have got all the momentum on the backside of that first half.
It's for you. Do you like it? Come on, Charlie. Use your new door. Come on, let's go. I said go. Let's go. Silly dog. I'm going to trade you for a cat.
It's a good ad. How's everyone doing? I'm trying something new again. I'm live streaming this game, and there's 1 minute timeout before they switch. So just wanted to speak with you. I don't know. What do you say? Should I do this, or do you want me to play game? Yeah. I like watching the games though. It's entertaining. They have a lot of things you can learn. Because I do learn a lot of stuff when I watch their videos, watch their gameplay, because they are so calm. They are so calm when they are playing. I learned that from them, that because I always get panicked, whenever I play. I always get panicked. But seeing them be calm like pushes me in back of the mind, like over and over again, that you should be calm, calm, calm down. So yeah. Also, give me a second. I'll be right back. You can enjoy the game
What was the
till then.
response for it? Is it really to try and counteract what Shy's been doing? But I mean, straight away, Josh, we're seeing bodies just stacked up in short.
Yeah, this looks like a big clash to be had here.
The potential for one for sure. Smokes up in their faces. Trying to peek past that haze, see if they can claim a kill or two. Adazine early taking control out towards Showers. Picks up that space nice and early. Flash through, this time trying to dominate his angles and play it, but anti-flash is caught for. Still KRU looking to get away just even. 3-3 in terms of the body count.
Casino's not going to read that.
Yeah, and he's just being squeezed there. Full grip occurring. Back through, trying to flip the map. Not quite, actually. Second guessing themselves for it still. Wait a second.
Oh, that's filthy.
Just a pixel of an angle. In case
I want to see that replay. I definitely want to see that replay.
Rebounds it. It's definitely going to push them off the plant. You got to respect it.
Oh! Oh my god.
In its grasp, and an open B side as well to work with.
And not just this, a flash to play off. So if Kesnet and Melzer try to find a fast timing, they could end up with a flash in their face.
Primed, held in the hands, takes it, but Melzer steady with the aim, and he leads KRU to a pistol round win.
They need Melzer to come alive. He had a fantastic previous match, but it was Kesnet really that I thought was the hero in this one. And from his position over towards A-Heaven. A lovely setup from Shy again, by the way. But what is that shot onto Cortesia?
Ooh.
Take a look at Shy's setups, though, as we go throughout this map. Because he and Adverso have been a nightmare for these teams to get through on the attack side. As much as MIBR are going to be coming into this one with anti-strats and with ideas of how to use the double duelist, either with the clone to bait out the wall or with double dive to get in past the thorns, you've got to be looking at the variety of stuff and how sharp Shy has been.
I definitely think a clear anti-strat from MIBR. One of the big things that was essentially tripping up teams when they're going up against KRU is
MIBR is saving.
Deep wall. He hasn't opted into it, at least for this round.
It's a good start for
but
KRU, though.
Imagine you're going to be seeing Adazine playing over towards Showers for most of the rounds just to punish the fact that if that wall is placed down.
Yeah. If Adazine can default over towards Showers, he'll be able to bait any potential vice wall.
See, I told you, they're playing so slow.
And then teleport away.
Is the gun close enough to retrieve? Is there even a gun to pick up?
Oh.
Not too sure.
Adverso was also playing this spot all the time. Didn't get caught by grab net, nade combos, that kind of thing. If you're doing any level of anti-strat against
Nobody's
KRU,
in.
you should know that Adverso plays lamps a ton.
Obviously, they don't know that.
Yeah, an early exchange of that util as well this time, getting a bit of a run on MIBR. Making moves over towards B. And Shy, his wall, up in the face of these players.
Shenom's going to hear it.
Yeah.
See it.
They know it's there, but it's about...
Can you all...
Exactly.
Can you all pop through it at once?
Oh, 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 oh.
And Shy tears it to pieces. 3 in a round, 2 remain.
Oh my god.
15 HP though.
Ew, ew. Why is...
Extremely close to the Vice Ultimate as well. Shy had a great beginning, and he's just snacked on a couple of ecos there too. That's a really difficult wall to bait.
It is. So I'm already seeing adjustments by Shy going up against a Yoru, because normally he's placing that right up at the barrier. But instead he's pulling it a little bit further back to the window. So if they do use their clone in that way to try and bait it out, adjustments made by Shy, I think he's definitely thinking about how to counteract it.
In this round, holding on to it as well. Gonna throw it over towards Showers.
Yeah.
So this is where we're expecting the Yoru defaulting to find some value, but instead MIBR have picked a B-leaning attack.
Okay.
Going fast with the Yoru ult.
That's 3 spotted as well. Dimensional drift, beautiful to try and crack open a lot of these sites and defenses. Trying to take this fight.
Wrong. Very bad.
No, still, Melzer.
Nah. Nah. Nah.
Sick performance by Melzer.
Nah.
Ridiculous on the defense side, but that was so bold from MIBR.
Yeah.
It was.
They're going for their fast
I wasn't
exit.
expecting
Sure,
that.
you've got the Yoru. Well, I'm not mad about it. Yoru can really increase the tempo, but you see 3 players there, and you go for the flash, and you have a Bucky?
That's insane.
I mean, that is
Wrong move.
bold from Artazine.
Wrong move.
A fairly inexperienced player. He's played a full season last year, but new to his role as the IGL for MIBR. Just picks the wrong strategy there with the benefit of hindsight, and KRU are now in a great position to draw a large lead on Bind. Their map pick.
Yeah, obviously.
Go through all the right motions as well.
That was what I was saying
Denying info
at the
space.
start.
Money knocked down for MIBR. A lot of space though given up over towards B long.
And here's that wall that you were talking about, Bren, where Shine pushes it up towards the spawn barrier at Hookah. He loves variety with his Vice setups,
Yeah.
which
Always
makes
keep
it
them guessing.
it makes it very difficult to build a strategy against it because you have no idea where it is when you start the round off. It takes you 30 seconds to figure out what the Vice setup is.
Mm-hmm.
But something you always know is that Adverso is going to be right here. Do MIBR have an idea of what to do against that?
Walls up. Horn's detted. He hears the sound cue. Tries to take the peek, but he's anticipating that they're all the way up anyway. Hands over the gun. It's just a Spectre at the end of the day, but it might make the difference here for MIBR. Quick tap as well. Seeing what the next wave of things is here. Util held in the back pockets as a nade that rebounds once more. Nos, what does he want to try and go with this one? Here's the back of the side. KRU ready.
Damn.
Twisting and turning, dancing around them.
Oh.
Aspas. Hold up.
Oh.
Two so far, but only 12 seconds left. The spike needs to be reclaimed.
He didn't get it.
He didn't get it. Tried to grab it. 8 seconds left. A tap, forcing these players out wide, but he just does not know. And now he needs to commit. It's the only way possible to try and play towards the wing cons, but no more time left to work with.
A decent attempt from Aspas, but KRU, with the investment of the orbital strike, it got expensive, but they secure the round. You see the waves of defensive utility there to deny the planter, just as good on both sides. Bit of a weird opening there. Adverso's got the spikes to play around. You expect him to be good. Understanding he hears one. And you know, that makes a huge difference. If we're thinking about both of these teams and their ability to lurk behind the Viper wall into lamps, those Vice Thorns giving you the sound cue make all the difference in that kind of spot.
And teams have been struggling against this man with the Vice. You know, Shine's pick, listen,
Timeout.
Anyway, his rifle aim has been impeccable, but the util on top of it.
Yeah.
I'm not really seeing enough options from teams to try and at least remove some of the Vice Thorns early. You're just spamming early into A short potential to try and catch onto it, so you remove even just the chance of them being able to det it.
Yeah, I mean, even just walking up, looking for the break onto it. Most of the time you're walking up, though, you don't want to give away that you're there.
Right, exactly.
So, you know, it does end up being difficult. It's extremely tough to play against a Vice without giving away exactly where you are on the map on your attack side.
Attack side, playing against his comp, you have a checklist that's literally going down to the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, you're holding up in your face and you're like, wait a minute, we're going to remove all of this util just to even stand a chance.
But MIBR, with Fraud behind and Artazine at the helm, came into this map with a game plan, with some serious ante. And now we need to see that in action.
Whenever I play Brim, I'm always number one. Not always, it's too much to say, but it's all reversed. They play according to their...
The deep wall in Hookah, and I think a flash to punish. Again, the Shy setup. Nobody going to be meeting these players out towards Showers. Kesnet, though, earns an ult-orb. For the trouble, but they want to speed this one all the way up, and there it is. Talking about it, wall lay it down, flash up and over, Thorns as well, target acquired, Aspas. Let's crack this one open, but he needs his team to get straight back in, and the util has flooded in, stalled out MIBR for but a moment, and now the flood defense. Time earned, bought up.
How do they do it?
One, off the back of Shy running out elbow.
Here it is. The and Aspas just reveals his place and position. Was hoping for the early pickoff to deny that ult getting any sort of value.
I don't know, MIBR can do this.
Hold MIBR so tight to the corners here. They're trying to play heavy. Hard onto the side.
Woo!
The cross up, the switches up, KRU. What ready, Shaynum!
Oh.
Just
Crazy.
Torn that away from KRU. It was looking great until it wasn't.
MIBR had Nozwa alone. Nobody swung for him. I'm thinking in my head, Shenum, you are baiting your teammate right now. You better get a big play out of the back of this. And he does. Look at him. When Nozwa dies here, and then Artazine dies, Shenum tucks in tube and kills 3.
Insanity with a spray.
The swing onto Mel's is a trade. The other 2 are straight duels. Shenum comes out with an enormous individual play in that post plant to keep them alive here.
That's what it takes. Hello. Strike. Verso was ahead of it though. Not playing into lamps, as you might expect. Don't get an acknowledgement. MIBR just trying to
They also get panicked.
And Aspas trying to reclaim as well a bit of that space as well. Flash timing off of it ever so slightly, still reclaiming it. Control for them, still showers is a pesky problem that MIBR are going to be needing to deal with. And Kesnit, Phantom in hand. So following the traces of that one for an attempt to punish. He's just spamming them as they're trying to take it still. Flash through.
Ew.
And KRU ready for it still.
Ew.
2v3, peeking behind triple. Mazzino.
Yeah.
Pin off heads. Leaving it to Shenum.
Didn't work out this time.
There's individuality from this guy. Earned him that round win prior, but now has to do it all again.
If he gets the read that Shy has rotated, he could try to pivot through the teleport. He's going to go for it anyway.
Yeah.
He has no idea, really, whether Shy's here.
Gone out.
He's got that molly to stop the rotates.
Yeah, and there it is. Drop down, tap, in case they get ahead of it.
Don't know about
Still
that one.
Garden. What is the secondary he's got to work with, man? He's going to have no gun whatsoever. Rotating this and around. And Mazzino can stick this one with the firing line over the shoulder.
KRU can afford in this round to stack 4 players on air defense, because if the teleport is taken, they get split up by the Vice Wall.
Yeah.
The Vice Wall is permanently there, alive in hookah, which means that you can't use the teleports, the main gimmick of Bind, if you want to put it like that. Normally, teams are forced to play a little more spread on the defense, but KRU can cheat.
But
so
he didn't have
heavily
that
towards the
time.
site that you're making noise on.
The time was running out.
MIBR are cobbling together a buy. Stinger, Bucky, not up to any major ultimates either. Looking great for KRU to get to map point.
Yeah, scraping at the bottom of the barrel if you are, MIBR. Flash in the face. Artazine was the one to take that contact, so he's going to TP back to safety, but KRU are just ready, waiting.
3.
Running a bit of lead over the way up towards B long. Still no baiting out of this Vice Wall.
No, I don't think we're really seeing the value that MIBR thought they were going to get from the Yoru. They're not playing these slower rounds, trying to find Vice Util, breaking it. Actually, the big rounds where they've had ultimates, they've just been going quick.
Telling you, they should have used Breach.
Out of this position either. What a beautiful timing on the snake bite.
As soon as the wall goes up, it's granted it, gifted it, still satchel up and around. Kesnet does not want to be hard committed into the site. Now they know, presence from MIBR. Paints the picture, trying to get the plan down on top of it.
Ew!
At that.
Ew!
Loses his life though in that battle towards Lambs. Tip tap, happy
What?
feet. Aspas wins it. Mel's are still
No.
here. Rounds and away. Cybers of angles and Aspas is begging for it. Someone to open up these angles, but just missing those few stray shots. What is it going to be called for? Pop flash through, but that's individualistic. Nozwa was alone. He was trying to go for that one, and no connection means that Melza was handed a freebie almost. Tapping away here, trying to play this one to the dregs. Pull it down. Time is ticking away.
Oh.
The guns are just not there to play with. Not in any way. Up to 12.
Applying so much pressure over the
It was
course of
their
that round
map,
in the
so
retake. MIBR,
if they wouldn't have won
massive
this,
mistakes.
it would be very bad for them.
Like you said, Nozwa going for that flash peek into lamps. No combo with another player. Aspas forced to do it all because Cortezio only has the stinger. The more pressure you apply, just slowly squeezing onto MIBR, they're forcing out mistakes, and Adverso's on his feet. Of course he is. He was there round 1 last time. I'm surprised he's been so reserved. But this is classic KRU defensive bind. They've only given up 1 round. Ults available for MIBR. They've got to try to make something happen here. Artazine at the front.
Trying to clear the way for most of this here. Fawns are dead nice and early. Dimensional Drift is going to be respected. He's got the Bucky in hand. He wants to go for a play. I don't blame him. You need to at this point. Straight in off, okay. A couple of shots popped off. He's going to force them to respect him and potentially re-clear out through the back of the side if they want it. And also with the plan,
It was a good move though.
and a pit layer down on top of it. That is a crucial mistake. MIBR could be back into this one. Orbital strike from Melter.
It was a mistake.
Primed, but they need to deal with this Bucky. It's the first layer of the play.
Ooh.
Absolutely layering it into them. Pellets going this way, that way. Still Orbital strike getting that value and a bit of spam with the Guardian in hand. Aspas trying to hold them back before they can get through this pit. It's the first line of defense. And he's earning himself a few of these kills. Still 2 left to stand for KRU. And this time you got to respect it.
You called it, Brent. What an error there from KRU. Unfortunately, Snakebite and Nade both missing from Adverso and Kesnit. Allowed MIBR to be able to get the plant. And once you got the plant, then you can go for the pit.
Yep.
So MIBR given a lifeline there from a small mistake from KRU. The Bucky as well, pushed all the way up deep. So tough to get back in once you've already given
That was nice.
MIBR all of that room. But what do they have to work with? The economy is still in terrible tatters for MIBR.
Stretched thin.
2 Guardians.
The player positions don't give me a lot of confidence. I mean, you're 10 seconds till the round starts, and everyone grouped up towards the middle of the map, and now finding their positions.
KRU, though, want to make a push down short. And Aspas is going to meet a crossfire between Aspas and Cortesia.
That's gonna be
Shut
fun.
down the contact plays before they even begin.
That's gonna be fun.
It's a standard bait, you know, you can hear that jump spot. We know Adverso likes to play in lamps, but do you expect Kesnit to be creeping, lurking? He reveals it. Position's there, now has to use the Satchel to evacuate. Speaking of lurks as well, Artisan, will this be the difference maker?
It's a slower approach for MIBR. I don't think they still have too much information about what the setup looks like, though. They've got to be anticipating that it's a Vice B setup, though. Yeah. Considering there was so much pressure from the defenders in short at the start, you're not also going to have the Vice playing, eh?
50 seconds left. Time dwindling.
She's alone.
Might be walking into very deadly.
Sky is alone.
2 players doubled up in a bit of a high-low. No, not quite, just Mazina.
All of this noise from MIBR on A has drawn 4 players. There is only Mazzino and Vice Utility home to defend B. Yeah. And now KRU realize they scramble. Is there enough time for MIBR to get in?
Thorns slowing him down.
I think so. I think so.
On a swivel.
I
mean, his position is not ideal, and he's going to be punished for it. Still, KRU, time bought, back into the fight. 20 seconds left in the gunfight. Needs to be one out. MIBR to even
how was Vice here?
Finally, taking a bit of space. Claiming it forwards, the spike still needs to get planted.
Yeah.
In order, pushing him back. Kesnit, it's like a pesky problem, just chewing to pieces.
Good job.
Right from the side, the plan finally committed.
Ew!
From the behind, Shanum has to do it all. Orbital strike, earn for the drop down, pushing Adverso forwards. No sound cues given away. 39 HP. And a bloody dream at this point, Shanum. Cannot do it all. And with that, KRU find that 13th, and map 1 is theirs.
Another great defense from KRU on Bind. Even in that final round, you could see that with 1 person home on the defense of the B side, there was enough util with the Viper Wall and the Vice Thorns to buy time for all of the rotates. They made it very difficult for MIBR. Tons of timings where MIBR tried to take the individual play, the hero moment, to get themselves across the line because the game plan was not working. KRU had a slow start. I was a bit worried about them, but they got into their groove eventually and are up map 1.
Yeah, full momentum, propelling them forwards. And that is a beautiful beginning here for map number 1 for KRU. On the second map, we're going to be looking at Abyss as well. It's another one that KRU are no slouches at. These little twists and turns that they add, the additions to the compositions, whether it's the Vice on Bind, and now we're going to be looking forward to the Viper that KRU play on Abyss. I want to see what answers MIBR have for that.
And considering that MIBR did not have too many answers against the defense here on Bind, it's a worrying state.
Yeah.
Fraud's got to have a lot of prep already done on their map pick to justify this over the Haven.
Puts all the pressure on them, and we're going to be finding out just a little bit more as well on the other side of this. Map 2 coming up. Don't go anywhere.
I liked how KRU came back. Sorry. Sorry. What's up? The new knife.
Even up though in the post plant, Lee stepping forward on the side, getting ahead of the util. Oh, it's just too easy, baby.
That's all we're waiting on. Okay, so you've seen him. And he's been caught in this corner a couple of times, but 10 HP. It's all he needs, Darker!
What?
Not fault line. Dash forward, but Runtown is famous. Able to make anything happen. Mizu continues to build space. Quick little right. Flawless finish. 4K here. Take a bow.
Okay, Team Supreme, we need you guys on the stage now. Come on, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I missed watching the first one, man. I liked Sen because I follow, what's his name? Tens. I follow Tens and I like that guy. He usually plays with Sen, but Sentinels, but I don't know if he was playing this this season. Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Vai jogando pra aqui, avançou, aspas à frente. Fez o seu, fez mais aspas dele!
I am joined by KRU's Adam before the next matchup. A victory on the first map always feels good, but it does look like it could be anybody's series here. What are you telling the team before game 2?
Well, today we had a slow start on Vine, something that we were able to deal inside the first map. So I think now we are going to speak about like keeping that rhythm, keeping that pace, and still keep playing confident because we are confident that we can win this.
All right, thank you for the insight. Good luck in the game.
Well, if Coach Adam is confident, then I'm confident. You know, KRU picks up the dub and they get themselves their first map win in this series. And it was, of course, on their pick of Bind. Welcome back, everyone. Golden Boy here alongside. We have Mimi and Ender. And we almost went crazy there for a minute. Guys, I mean, if you started this one off and you were looking at the match, you were seeing KRU not really doing that great. And then out of nowhere, they flipped it around and they found that momentum, just as you heard Coach Adam talk about.
Yeah, they really figured it out towards the end of that first half. And I think one key round of that was round 10. And generally on this attack side comeback, how they were kind kind of finding consistent lurks up A short off of their Viper wall. They were consistently able to scale into this space, and it felt like MIBR didn't have a lot of ideas of how to deal with these lurks. You see in this round, they're trying to heavy fight into showers, and then they make the decision to come back in, get caught off guard by Kezin on his lurk, and then KRU just trades out, goes through this very heads-up play to satchel back sight with that showstopper, and they close this one out throughout the trades. It feels like that short lurk was the way to get back into this game. They built momentum off of that and closed this first round.
I like that they had different looks in the area too, because they were doing short lurks. You've got a round like this too, where it's like a full contact up with the team as well, ready to explode out behind it. And that started after, like you were alluding to, MIBR start off the half 4 rounds to nothing. Coach Adam calls a timeout. All of a sudden, KRU starts slowing the pace down to allow for these lurks, to allow for teleports to leave inserts over towards showers and really try and catch MIBR when they're off the wrong sides of the map.
Yeah, and then we get into the second half, and obviously it's KRU's defense half on this map. It just looks incredible. I think Shy in particular, it's kind of insane how consistently good he has managed to be on defense of this map. He is so comfortable as a sole anchor. He uses his Vise utility so
I like that.
Even almost having like
That's
perfect
cool.
on the fly with the razor.
Oh.
Woo! Sorry, Omen just queued us. I don't know what happened.
We just got Omen.
KO knifed.
KO knifed as well.
Straight up. But seriously, like, I don't know. I was a little bit surprised because I thought that Shy was going to be put under a lot more pressure, right? Because MIBR lock in this double dive comp that should be overwhelming the B site more. But the way that this guy was just so consistently able to path around site and like hide out in tube, peek out for a couple of kills, like, again, I think you'll look at the highlights of him and be like, oh, he landed a lot of these nice shots, but I really think it's his movement around the site to dodge away from utility and catch these timings where he can step forward to get under hookah, where he's finding a lot of those multi-kills.
You see a lot of
definitely.
Like, Vise players when they play into the Yoru, where they end up kind of blowing all of their utility off that clone coming in. You hear your wall trip, the instinct is to pop the razor vines and fight off of that. He did a really good job of letting the clone go through and then waiting for the actual exec, using the vines then to slow and give him these isolated advantageous fights, especially on B, which he was so successful with all game long.
And what's wild is we were talking about that Yoru maybe being the thing that would have cost him the game potentially, but instead it was Shy clutching up big time, pulling off some magic moves without a doubt. But let's go ahead though and hear from Fraud, the coach of MIBR, to get his thoughts going into map 2.
I am joined by Fraud from MIBR ahead of their next match. Such a close match, map 1 could still go either way. What are you guys going to do to kick it into that next gear to make sure KRU doesn't take a hold of the game?
We just got to mentally reset. I think that we started off really strong. We kind of lost the momentum there, couldn't bring it back. I think it was just something that we just got to focus on ourselves a little bit. Our communication was a little bit off. So it's just bringing it all back to some of the things that we practice and, hoping to punish them on some of the moves and, hopefully we come out with a better result.
All right, Brad, thanks for the chat. Good luck in the game.
They have to focus on the mental going into this next one here, which is a big one, right? This is it. I mean, you can see the trophy right there. That's what they're playing for here, this kickoff trophy from the Americas region.
You could just take this right now.
You could, theoretically.
You would not make
Valorant could have walked out of the building with it and not even showed up the next 2 days.
We have to win it. Anyway, moving forward, though, let's go ahead and jump into map number 2. After this short break, we'll see you on the other side. Don't take it.
Oh, it wasn't me! It wasn't me!
You're not smooth.
It was, sorry to say, but it was it was cringe. It was.
Heavy weight on the shoulders of MIBR as we're heading into map number 2. It's their map pick. Abyss, they've opted to go into this direction as well, despite the fact that KRU have been looking like no slouches under themselves as well. The twists and turns, the Viper in their comp that they run. Just honestly, just dismantled NRG. They couldn't come up with answers for it when we were watching them play that game. So here's the question is really, is the counter-stratting, is the ideas that MIBR going to be bringing into this going to come to fruition? Because Bind, they clearly had an idea of how they wanted to try and play around the Vice. and counter strat, but it didn't really work out.
No, they kind of gave up on their idea halfway through their attack side and just started running fast hits. Here we're seeing MIBR running the... Oh, sorry. Here we're seeing KRU running the same composition, like you said, that we saw against NRG. The attack side Viper wall was really difficult. It's like a lurk Viper wall that goes into A. You have to play on the opposite side of it if you want to be gaining info, and that's tough. Now, Cortesia does have the Cypher, so you can try to place trips or a cam or something like that. And that's what I would imagine MIBR are going to be doing to avoid that wall becoming an enormous problem for them. And beyond that,
so in Abyss,
because you get him on the defense side to start here. Yeah. You get him on the operator early on. And we saw in MIBR's game against Lev, he's doing holy damage. He was exercising demons. He was doing crazy stuff, hitting no scopes. He needs to be having an outrageously good performance right now to overcome what KRU have done as a collective throughout this bracket run.
We might see that duelist head-to-head made manifest here nice and early. Pop flash through, full aggression. Just an aggro chord for, but it's a knife to push them back as a result of it. And look at KRU stomping all the way up. Listen, there's no hiding the intent from this one. Nosworth has to expect this play is occurring, dashing straight into the face of a few of them. Nosworth, an attempt to answer back once more, still 2 versus 2. It's what we're left with.
Not bad from MIBR, to be honest, because KRU had the right reaction. But now the KRU players have the opportunity to take the initiative. Looking to try to catch the timing.
Walking all the way up, crouch peek into it. Aspas missing that first shot, but just spots it. Flash and a re-swing. Blind as anything. And Aspas is left to do it all. 40 HP. Sheriff in hand. Oh! Chances, opportunities. Fires the shot off. Ghost picked up. Just flicked to the side. Cheeky reposition.
That was so cool.
And a confident re-peek as well.
I like that.
KRU are such a difficult team to play against when they're confident, when they are playing fast and
I
aggressive,
really like that.
taking all of the space that you give them. This round, they got pushed in A main and they just ran up mid. They were like, okay, we know exactly where to react to. It's a good start from Nosra as well, who had a really rough performance on Bind. He needs to be keeping that up. But KRU take the pistol.
This is a MIBR pick.
And that is going to delay Aspas getting an operator. It's, you know, it doesn't just have the benefits of getting them 1-0 up, probably 2-0 up.
He's looped his way around the side.
Ooh.
Just, and he hits it. Okay, dash. Gets him out of dodge. The confidence is there.
KRU, they're allowed a couple of deaths because they have a couple of players that only went with their pistols.
They know that
you
now,
don't
though.
want to lose people early on without being able to trade things out. A 4v5 that's a raw one like this, where they don't take space off the back of it, that's going to be difficult for KRU. So this one goes underneath the bridge.
Styler down, stun as well. Just going to clear out that back section in case there was a player there.
Oh, okay.
Large commitment of
That's a good thing to learn. I didn't know that.
the KO nade. MIBR were pretty far off this site, but they've got double sheriffs. It's Nosra and Aspas you're looking at.
All playing off site.
That's a choice.
Yeah, cliffside plan. I mean, they're going to have to opt into spamming, I suppose, facing together, hoping that the guns really do save the day. Aspas was lurking out from behind,
but he's decided not to commit.
No committal still, that Sheriff. Also is doing work with it. Eventually he's going to be falling. Shaynum!
Good job.
And Aspas is miles away. Creeping behind here. And a reposition of Azino. Fully anticipated, fully expected.
And winning another 1v1 against Aspas.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Good start from MIBR, though.
I mean, both of these
with the Aspas.
pretty familiar with each other as well.
With Aspas picking
with
the first kill.
To get rifles on board. And they did a lot of damage to the economy of KRU. I said that KRU could afford to have 2 losses. It's going to mean they come into this one with far less weaponry to work with. But crucially, not that operator available for Aspas on defense. So he's going to be rifling for a while yet.
A little bit of danger into the bonus.
Why did he throw the flashback? Oh, just to make sound. They're going B.
as you mentioned as well, Josh, the money
They're going B.
really good enough to get the operator in the hands of Aspas.
He's still going to be looking for fights over towards mid, though.
Same setup.
His rifle aim is so good that it's about as dangerous as an op. Artazine playing in front of where all of this util is coming for him. He's got to find value.
He's spotted. Has to drop back and try and play the retreat.
Ooh, what?
Time in a util. Still
Ew.
standing his ground. Wins it versus Kesnit. Pop Blast didn't even quite connect onto them. Still tap in a jar with a movement. Almost going even. Orb drop down at their feet. There's about 55 seconds left into the round. And what's your play? If you are
Going back.
you're going to evacuate out of this when the drone sees all.
Caution here. Look for Shy. Looking for Shy to make the play. Shy is absolutely the playmaker in this spot. He's used his orb to get across.
Trip at his feet.
He can hop up silently here, though.
Yep. Oh, a thief in the night. He might just be absolutely out of work.
Ew! Oh my god. That's bad.
Quite happening still. Sheriff in their hands. This time, though, rifles prevail for MIBR.
A way better beginning for Noswa here.
Not a good start.
But it's Artazine, I think, that really is the difference maker in this round.
Oh.
He was caught completely out. I mean, look, he's trying to escape there. He's getting run down by Kesnit. He turns around the corner and realizes there's Astra util, KO nade in his face. He's like, uh-oh, I gotta fight this. Yep. And he still manages to whip back around and win the fight against Kesnit. That's a tough position to play, but he does the job to get MIBR on the board.
Flash in the dark, nothing to break that one, of course, because anybody who could was blinded up. Deep knife against the back wall. 3-1-1 in terms of how KRU are choosing to play it, just trying to lurk these players up towards mid.
The drone counteracts that potential lurk timing, though.
Yeah.
And I thought they'd be running some defense Cypher utility on A, but instead, they're just having Artazine jump peek this. And that's a little worrying, because Kesnit's sharp with these. Artazine, whenever this wall goes up, has got to try to get info. You see him here flashing.
I think they'll stay. I think if I would be in that spot, I would stay. I would stay A.
But also, KRU have not really taken too much map control as yet.
Slowly working their way back over. Now the knife is going to be coming back online. In fact, Artazine has it, so timing is everything here.
And Adverso's going to look for a Sovereign on the engage.
Yeah, they're in. They're in. They're in. They're in. What?
Of course, it's predictable. There's only one choke point which they're going to be trying to get their way through, but still, one way to shut it down. 20 seconds left.
Yeah, this is a save, and Shy only has a Guardian as well, so it sucks for him. He's been on the lurk through mid the entire round. Didn't realize no one was worried about it because of the trip that's inside his orb. Now that he's learned about that one, though, you can start shocking it at the beginning of rounds. Look, you see them pinging it out on the minimap.
Yeah, they're thinking about it.
He's like, all right, boys, my lurk got no value this round because of this trip. I need you to get rid of it for me. But MIBR did a good job. You can see some of their ideas here. The trip to deny the mid lurk. Artazine using flashes and using his knife to get info over towards A. And this is going to start a bit of an info battle. Here's the replacement trip that's coming through.
Wasn't quite in the smoke. I mean, the second one was, but yeah, Kesnit just distracted. There's a lot to account for there.
And we're watching from Artazine's point of view. Bear in mind, Shannon popped his own smoke to play around on site too. All right, so look at this. The shock dart's going to come through to break a trip that was there last round. Now it's tucked around the corner. So a slightly worse trip for the defense, but at least it stays up.
Yeah.
Here.
And Aspas's job is to defend these smokes, and he doesn't quite realize it, but the hordes are coming.
Yeah, and they're going to come knocking. Going to try and open this one up. They're accounting for the peak anyway. Dropping him in his tracks. And now is it full speed ahead? What is the call?
Oh, wrong spot.
Of the mark.
That's bad.
To be found inside of his own smoke there. Running rings around his players. Did they hear the sound?
They definitely heard.
Oh, they heard each other. Yep. Artazine, gun ready. And waiting. KRU left to scramble.
Woo.
How can you salvage this time
Oi.
around? You're just opening yourselves up way into these angles. Just the slightest of off angles. There was that trade inside of the Hunter's Fury as well. There's just another gun in their side. Potentially the win con.
And Shy, he's where the defenders are buying guns.
This is a weird round.
He's completely flipped the map. and he's got very little chance of converting this. He has no info about where Cortezia or Artazine are. He just knows that they could be anywhere, basically.
30 seconds left.
He's got the benefit of his wall to play around over towards A, but this is full discipline by MIBR. I mean, you just look at their positions. Hit up plant. Creeping forwards, double face. Oh, there was a chance. That's all it will remain.
And that would have been a nightmare had MIBR allowed it to occur, but even with as good as Shy has been playing, he couldn't quite land that 1v2. So MIBR take the lead here. What a strange occurrence on the flank over there with...
It's all over the place.
Yeah, Artazine and Adverse are just kind of running into each other, both hearing each other.
Yeah.
Bizarre. But also showcasing that MIBR are willing to abuse the fact that KRU are not running a hard sentinel. There are no trips on the flank. And that's something that NRG never really did when they played against KRU. They didn't push deeper than the Viper wall. They didn't full clear out A and try to flank them. Already you can see some of these ideas, and now heading into attack timeout from KRU gives MIBR another chance to just touch base and figure out what they want to do with Aspas's favorite weapon, because the op is now online.
Built up enough of the bank. That's going to be another variable that KRU are going to need to deal with.
And it should be predictable. Enough players died.
I'll be back, guys. Just give me a second.
Economy's out of control, basically.
Yeah.
So KRU are going to know that this is a possibility. But where is he going to play? Aspas has generally been playing around mid, but he's going to get double smoked off if he starts around at mid, so that would be really unusual. Is he going to fight A main with a Viper wall in his face? That would also be pretty weird. So KRU's Viper comp does somewhat kind of incentivize the operator to start B, but you don't want to always play to KRU's tune. Yeah.
Exactly.
Aspas is going to take it over onto the A side, and he's going to, by the look of it, try to play this top box position with the op, where he can actually get on the other side of the Viper wall. So that seems like quite a nice position to play against KRU's setup.
Yeah, peak of Artisan's flash as well, which is the way that they've been trying to play it. Very spread, slow siege approach here by KRU.
And not only that, Aspas can actually see over the top of the Viper wall here.
This is interesting.
Recon dart, drone going out over towards B, breaking a trip, really trying to make it feel like there's heavy B pressure. Aspas, he's not budging.
No. Right, they can hear all the noise being made by KRU.
One thing that would put a bit of a wrench in the plans for MIBR would be that Cosmic Divide. And in fact, things are moving. It is hitting the B side. They have broken a trip already, and Cortezia, I don't think he realizes, but he's going to be under enormous pressure here.
He's hard committed. There's no retreat from this angle. Get a kill, and you got to stand your ground as well from the follow-up. Flash up into his face. Can't see a bloody thing. Updraft, dashing away. Knife tags. Targets in his face.
It wasn't easy. It was alone.
Open sight, never to push back this plant.
KRU shouldn't be playing too many people off site here because of the smokes that are still online for Xenon. But they're only leaving Mazzino in this spot.
Could be dangerous. Artisan on the flank again. It's another one.
Well, 3v5, this might not even be a retake attempt, to be honest.
Not with the op, no.
Yeah, Aspas with an op in hand. Even though the money is good for MIBR, the chances of success are just so low, and you're going to be powering up the pit and the null command. KRU, I think, were one of the teams that demonstrated some good on-site post-plant positioning. I think there is a slight worry that, to me, that they're falling off-site so much here. Because there's a chance that MIBR could still get back into some of these rounds. But it is helping them deal with the flank, right? They had so many people back there. Even if Artazine had not fallen to Kesnit, there would have been another, 3 players for him to get through. But all right, that round chalked for MIBR. The score 3-3. But KRU used their Cosmic Divide, which was their biggest tool at being able to get around Aspas's op, in my opinion. Aspas, though, moves it around, and he's starting on B.
A slow play from KRU.
फ्लैश करके उसको पीछे धकेल देते हैं.
Fast into this one, seeing if they can poke and prod, find where these setups are. Ideally, find where Aspas is. Trying to hide his presence. Nobody to break this drone, just himself. So has to reveal the hand.
Noswa actually tried to body block the Viper Orb at the start of this round, and so I think it's a bad smoke in mid, but that doesn't matter.
This is exactly
Crazy.
the type of stuff that was throwing NRG off. They were trying to play ahead of the Viper wall, but the underhanded flashes in play. Noswa in for the back. Trying to
Ooh.
on Melzer. Oh, he tried to dish it out as well. Cortese just catching him there, and here it is. Viper ult, Neural Theft revealing quite a bit at the locations of these crew players.
Another enormous flank coming through from Cortesia.
Yeah, and it's all relying onto that, I think. Shock darts doing the damage. Quick tap, flash through, snake bites! What is occurring? They're trying to flip the map and take it away from them still. Aspas trying to take it straight to them, rifle in hand! That's what you get! Dude, Aspas, man.
Cortesi was on the flank, he wasn't even required, he came jogging up like, everything all right, mate?
The map is so big, you're like crossing a continent. You're trying to get that kill, the fight's already won.
Aspas is playing for his life. Starts with an operator, gets a pick, goes inside of his cloudburst, swaps over to a rifle. Bit of a problem here though. Crew were in a 5v3 and they somehow let it slip.
Great adjustments.
That was bad. They sucked at it.
Cannot allow Aspas to live for that long.
Nah.
He's going to be able to get his operator back online too.
Nah.
Take a look at this little interaction in mid though at the start. Noswa is trying to headbutt the Viper Orb. I think he's done it again.
Yeah, it's slightly ajar. Lovely bit of counterplay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very interesting. Mushroom up and over, drone as well. It's going to be spotting a multitude of targets, but with the nade at your feet, Aspas cannot take the peak that he was hoping for. So with that reveal, and now the plant actually committed. Dash not active yet. Aspas holding on to it. It's going to be those no commands emanating out from both of these players. See what they can get done. No abilities to work with. Just going to take it up straight up in these fights. Raw gun.
Ooh.
Quick scope.
Late though. Late. Quick what quick? It was late.
Smokes in your face, making it slightly awkward, and everybody offside again. We spoke about it. Could be a problem for Crew if they try and opt into this play. Tap, gotta force that pull out. First wave of things. Rare whiffage. Aspas up and around. Drafted away. And sky high.
Oh. Fun. Crazy. Damn. Damn!
For the retake with his operator. He's
able
to hold angles for the rest of his teammates. Having to wait out Mazzino's
Shit!
command the whole
That
time.
was crazy,
You
guys.
see it in the back of his head. He's like, I want to pop these knives. I want to pop these knives. And then when he does,
whoa!
above, so high up. Got a great angle on both of those players. Adversary.
Damn. Damn. Oh my god.
Ways to be happening, but we're straight back into it.
Oh my god.
With a player like Aspas, just takes control of a round almost single-handedly.
And he's knocked Crew's economy down. Kesnet looking to respond, needs something of his own. But Ardazine is here with his 0 point. I mean, he's just waiting to throw it, knowing how Kesnet's going to scale. Knives are gone.
All the way ahead, and most of these smokes as well. You can just try and poke and prod onto the corners of these angles. This is fast and rapid. Trying to shut down this play.
Knives are back.
Swarming them.
Knives are gone.
Oh! Oh! It's his day. It's his day. It's Aspas' day.
They knew where the hit was coming through. They knew that
It's Aspas' day, bro. That's bad. Oh my god.
With a ship, but he shuts down the star player that could really have done the damage. That combo of Shenom anchoring on this right-hand side with Ardazine on the other has been actually a really effective counter to what Crew have tried to do on A.
Getting started, it's going to be a clash occurring, yep. Out through B, made! Oh my, underhanded! Can you adjust the aim in time? Just the one. Stay away, called for.
Ardazine is going to realize that they weren't going for a full B hit there. That was just a default, because otherwise he would have run into more players and probably been traded. The very fact that he's alive is going to have his IGL brain realizing They don't want to be over-rotating to B.
How didn't
Give Aspas an inch and he will take a mile.
you see that?
The dash into the smoke as well, using his opponent's smoke as cover.
Trying to stay active, trying to be aware. The Viper's pit might cause some concern. It's definitely going to cut up the angles where Aspas could get that value. You can see him just trying to anticipate pre-aiming possible positions, hoping that he gets lucky.
The plant tap is the biggest problem here, because Arzine.
Oh no!
Out in the open, Melter's there to respond. 2v3, tapping away. Gotta anticipate that that's gonna be a fake. 24 seconds left.
Here comes Cortesia from behind. Do they even think about this?
Middle. Do they think about it? Big question. Inside the smoke for Melter. Not too much you can do there, Shy. So 1v3, skipping, hopping straight through, but an immediate answer. Sniffing out where Shy
That's a
could be
good
playing from.
play.
Really
That's
good
so
protocol
good.
towards the end as well. Have one person go in and Aspas ready to hop in with the shorty to get the trade kill. Very tough for Shy to clutch in that spot. A nice idea from KRU, honestly though. Once they were already down in a 3v4, the pit was probably the only way that they were going to be able to win it. But so far, it has been rough. KRU got the pistol and round 6.
क्या crazy aggression, bro.
Control. Aspas 15-3. We needed a star performance from him if MIBR were going to come back in this match. And he has delivered.
A historical head-to-head. Aspas versus Kesnet. Battled many times, but it's Aspas who's won it 5 times versus Kesnet's 1.
You want to fight it?
I'm going to see him once more.
So early.
To the corner. Perched up. Time to strike is nigh. Missing the anticipation there. Hunter's Fury to supplement this. It's quite a lot to add into this exec.
Last time they ran an execute like this, Cortesia got caught, and the rest of MIBR ended up saving.
They're saving again.
KRU with aggressive post-plant positions, not allowing MIBR a chance to come back through.
This is up close. And personal, Mazzino. Oh, wait, flash for flash. Hold on! He's won the timer now. Artisan just can't get a second one though, and Shy quick on the trigger.
Ew!
With the feet, Kesnet staying alive and active. Aspas though in a 1v3 now. Hello. Just not giving the easy option, is he?
It's a good exec from KRU. They get in, Cosmic Divide, find a pick onto Nozru, who's trying to play his timing. And then they're all pushed up, ready to play off each other. KRU can still recover this half. But it was their attack side on this map that looked the most dangerous. And it's not like Bind, in my opinion, where KRU individually were looking bad at the beginning. I think KRU still look pretty decent on an individual level here. It's just that the ideas are not really working in the same way.
Another fast play. They're going to be meeting though. Head to head. Just the cam to take that first spot, so nothing out of the ordinary, at least for KRU. They're going to be thinking, hold on, that's a drone, you got to updraft dash just to get the hell away from it. They're going to try and break it, still plenty of players.
Bad spot.
Cortesia wants to hold that down and hold down the ground. A line stepped over, happy to shut that away. Shorty in hand. Why not? It's getting scrappy and messy, but I mean, final round of this first half.
A 5v2. KRU cannot
Not a
find
chance.
enough. Mel's flank dealt with as well. He ran into that same trip from Cortesia. And MIBR put together an 8-4 half. A wonderful response to getting shut down in the second half of Bind.
What do you think, guys? Is it going for a third map? Or is KRU taking over?
Aspas dashing away and Cortesia moving forwards. It's lovely to see.
It's half time now.
But I don't think you're going to be able to get Aspas carrying with an operator in the next half. So different questions here for MIBR, if they're able to close things out.
Yeah, but listen, the rifling in Aspas's hands, he's no slouch at it. We're going to be finding out on the other side of this.
I think what I can do is
MIBR certainly have come out strong on the backside of that map 1 where it was so rough, and they just do it to taunt you, Josh. The jeers added into the back. I mean, I don't even know the name of that one. This is how we peel back the curtain.
That's what MIBR are doing to KRU right now.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
KRU need a pistol here, and they've been good on the pistols. If they want to be able to get back into this one, I think they need a couple important things to go well for them, and it does start here.
Who do you think will win?
If this is the real starting positions for MIBR, this looks like a hard read on KRU going fast A.
Careful you don't press the S key.
Yeah.
That's 3 players on a precarious position. Just the 2, actually. I can't count.
You never did well in elementary school,
I
did you?
really didn't, no.
Well, KRU are pushing out here.
Trying to face this head on. Underhanded with a flash. Oh my goodness!
There's the prep. It just works perfectly. Even though Aspas was blinded up, Shannon wasn't.
It's MIBR's pick though.
Ghost in hand.
It's crazy.
Looks to Shy to step up as well. See if he can pick apart any of these MIBR players that are just holding their ground. Straight down, here, that spike dropped down, but immediately picked up.
Ardazine's already deep on B. This was an extraction process to get the spike, but if Ardazine dies...
Way up! Ardazine's missed the ang.
Then suddenly, B site becomes a little more dangerous. Adverso can take all this space. Can he make the play to win the pistol? KRU need it.
Here's the footsteps. Shot dart just about missing there, but the dart ricocheting potentially off across the back. Too much to overcome. Nozwa tapping away their classic in hand.
Can't do it.
Zeno's only got 6 health to his name. Got to make a play for this round, but at this point, pure impossibility.
They saw
Good
him.
and handed mistakes from MIBR, and they're not in the mood to be giving that away for free. Aspas plucks him away.
And if there was a hope for KRU in this map, it would have had to be with that pistol, I think. This is going to be so tough for KRU to get back in. MIBR with the weapons to take them up to double digits. Oh, what a nice preparation. I think overall in this game, you've seen that MIBR are putting serious thought into how to beat KRU. The ante is really present. You see it on that pistol round setup where Aspas and Shenom are waiting, anti-flash. It didn't necessarily work on Bind, but the demonstration of the thought is still there, and the preparation.
It's definitely enough to set them up nice and early with that pistol round win, guns in the hands. Full presence, a 4-1 split. Trying to make their mark known here with Aspas leading that charge. Just popping heads all over the place.
They're all dead.
Yeah.
Oh, and the peak inside. Oh, maybe not the peak inside the smoke.
Yeah.
Melza maybe not quite identified there.
Drifting in and out.
Gets away with 1.
Still, can't imagine he's going to be getting away with too much more. 7 bullets. And that is crispy business.
He's a one-man wrecking ball.
Yep. One day his spacebar is going to break, and that's going to be a disaster.
Well, who did we see that did that in the middle of an exec just recently?
I don't know.
It was a game I was watching, I think, a couple of days ago. Somebody mid-exec just falls into the pit on A. I could have sworn it was Aspas, actually.
Was it Valen today?
Oh, you know what? I think it was MIBR when they were playing against EG.
Ah.
When I went back and rewatched that game. Aspas, middle of an A exec, just falls into the pit. But here we go. A bonus round that looks incredibly deadly for MIBR. Almost everyone with a rifle.
Just spotting slightest of body. Shy with a reposition now. Quick drone as well. These players are in! Oh man, nothing to account for them, nothing to push them back and away. Hold on, that did not go where you wanted it to. Still running forwards and accounting for these positions.
He's just expecting the whole of KRU to be playing a retake spot there.
Listen, they're trying to double face this one up. Aspas had to do a lot there from that spot. Just all the more unlikely. Cam out wide. Bodies falling. 1 player left to stand. It's Shanon with the Guardian up in his hands. Looking sky high. That's going to be a late start. Half earned for Shy. That's win cons earned as well. Gives him a lot of outs to try and play into this round.
Nah.
It's a 4-piece. Shy. Glimpse back at that domination that he just was letting loose on Bind.
And he doesn't have to rebuy armor, so they'll be able to get a bit more weaponry going. He even gets a sheriff to toss to a teammate, but considering how sloppy that was from MIBR...
A lot of mistakes.
the fact that they still managed to kill 4 is real rough for KRU, because it keeps the KRU economy incredibly honest. You see, Ardezyne has got a read that KRU are not applying any defense over towards that cliff jump up spot. He just ran through there with nary a care in the world.
Deep with the orb and a deep placement as well. Shy is making sure to hold down. Middle section of mid.
Do they have a clue about this?
Doesn't look likely. Oh, wait a minute. That tagged onto Shy. What is that?
No way.
That tagged onto him. Just instinct at work here. MIBR definitely trying to work the map as well. Even Aspas to take point. Flash in his face. Crossing back over.
Ardezyne's been getting pretty aggro over towards B and caught this round.
The door broken open. There's one more layer of defense for it. They will hear this before Cortesia can even get much done.
It feels quite individual here from MIBR,
yeah,
though.
it's almost like the plan has gone to pot. At this point, looking for any sort of opening. There's only, less than 40 seconds left.
So this is going to end with a bit of an A split, but I can't really tell whether Aspas or Cortesia is going to be the player that goes for the split.
Exactly. Who's the impetus? Who's going to get this ball rolling? Dash active. We're walking up most of the round here. Dash forwards into the smoke on top of it. Now Aspas does have the knives to play around with, but 17 seconds left. Open towards the A site. He's the front section. Earns himself that gun.
And Cortesia did a great job of being able to pick up that site anchor early. When Kesnit fell, made all the difference, and Aspas has got an iron grip on heaven.
Just here's a drop down, I think. Mazzina was on top of the box and chooses that as the timing to try and take it. Verso, pixel angle, trying to play with it. But he's on top of the box, and that is a lovely one. Didn't see it from his perspective, but looked rough to try and wrangle that shot together. 2 versus 3. This is slow going so far for KRU, but with that player advantage, possibilities for them. And now just the one once more. Shanum tries to stand up to them, but Rifle in hand can't do too much more.
There's a lot of aim diffing going on in this round.
Yeah.
Nice.
Verso in particular with the Guardian
Nice.
does an incredible job of being able to outplay Aspas and then Sova diff Nozwa. If Nozwa had won that duel, he got the Sova ult online. And he's in a post plant with Sova ult. It would become very tough.
We'll see this one.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, little micro adjustment.
Great round from Adverso. KRU need their individual skill to be online. It's one of the big reasons why they've been able to turn around this bracket run. After a limp opening against Loud.
Long way to go yet though for KRU. Still 4 rounds behind, but the money looking tight. Great chance for them to rack up a few more. Even that gap.
Shy's orb there is really nice for going for mid re-clear strategies. You pop the orb, throw in a
Cypher's waiting though.
Or go for a peek. Acts as a nice one way for you to very regularly go and recheck mid.
Ooh.
Hello. He's active. Back into the fight. It's a flash into the back as well, just to try and make sure that Aspas can play off of this, but he's hard committed onto the top section. There is Chaos into the mix, into this round. Shy is going to be trying to thrive in it. Weaving back and forth with smokes and walls. Cortesia up top as well. On top of it, Shy cannot be toppled. Sky refuses to be removed. But finally,
Oh my God.
down. That's a cheeky position to be taken. One knife to his name.
They've not planted it.
Or an upgrade or anything. A refreshing
Oh.
shot dance to the side. Last chance. He's only got the shorty. And good luck to you.
They're all holding. Oh my God.
Shots with the Outlaw. I don't know how you could possibly win this round. It's the most unwinnable spot any player's ever been put in.
Yeah, I mean, he's giggling. He's 25 and 6. He's giggling. He's like, this touch.
The greatest of all time player, potentially. 25 and 6 with a shorty.
Yep.
Then it is a fair fight.
Yeah, don't think so.
No.
Don't think so.
Oh, God.
And we'll eventually go down.
That round genuinely got a little bit close there. Squeaky bum time for a moment. when Shy pops his Viper's Pit and then Nozwa gets the kill, Aspas still has knives up and there is danger. But KRU navigate it. And this next round is going to be the most important one. And for that reason, MIBR have taken a tactical timeout. Round 18, we're about to go in. An attack timeout called for MIBR, because if they don't win this, their economy's going to get wrecked again. And then the gap, it's only 2. I mean, potentially, because they're on an eco, it's only 1.
Exactly. It's going to be tightening between the two of them, and MIBR don't want that. That's why they call this timeout. KRU have found an in.
Kesnet has an operator. The defense also has Cosmic Divide to be able to work with. So any of these off-site post-plant ideas, well, Mel's is going to have to be dead if you want to be playing like that. So far, haven't really seen too much of a vision from MIBR on their attack. They're doing some half-hearted stuff towards mid and trying to lurk Artesine on B. And outside of that, they're just playing pretty spread without having too much coordination. All of those lovely ideas seem to have been stacked on their defense side.
Maybe just praying that, listen, maybe Aspas can just open up enough rounds once you switch over to the attack, but you're exactly right. I mean, you got to see a bit more thought put in.
If you have a game where Aspas is dropping 30 and you still lose, that's rough.
Problematic, yeah.
And that's entirely possible if MIBR lose this round.
Would not dissuade the Aspas and Friends narrative. That's slowly going to be building. Drone broken. Don't know if it saw Kesnet. Might have tucked himself.
You got to expect it though.
Yeah,
anytime a drone gets broken that early, you're thinking the op is there.
Take flight.
Mid-round information for Adversity.
They missed the timing on Cortezia.
Missed the timing. He's all the way up, and he's removed Kesnet. Out of the fight, out of the picture. Neural Theft as well for his troubles. Lay that one down. A quick peek from Medino. He can't find the body.
The movement.
God damn.
Aspas's movement is just so good.
Bro. It's like an eel in the water. Good luck getting a grip on him.
And Cortezia comes alive. Found the timing on a really fast mid play. The rest of the players on MIBR baiting for him. Breaking the drone, drawing the attention. Wiggling through the air for Aspas as well. And Shy left. He's been amazing on the defense. Bind. Here on Abyss, he's been good too, but this is about as unwinnable as Aspas with a shorty in a 2v1.
I'm going to take him out.
There's a lovely strat coming out from MIBR. Fraud having that impact coming out of attack timeout.
Yeah.
We were talking about how important that one was. And they couldn't have found a better moment for their Cypher to come online.
See this one from his perspective.
What KRU was doing in mid.
No 360s, but still.
One enemy remaining.
It's a little bit of a Jira.
Little bit of a Jira.
I think you can give that a Jira, Aspas.
Yeah. Well, we missed a moment, but that's okay.
And look at the emotion difference there.
Obviously. Oh my god.
KRU, I was framing it as a must-win round for MIBR, but it also was a must-win round for KRU. Because if they wanted to get a bit of a comeback started, that was an eco swing round for them as well. MIBR would have been pushed down. KRU could have got back within 2. Sometimes in a game, it can come down to 1, 2, a couple of major rounds where the ults and the economy swing in one direction or another. And Atom is trying to bail them out of a hole right now.
The major difficulty, like you said, because the money is KRU will be able to scrape together something potentially, but
it's not good though.
It's not good at all.
Their economy is in a really rough spot here because they won a round and then, I mean, to be honest, they won a bunch of rounds in a row. I'm surprised their economy is in such a bad spot.
It's been getting pushed down to, a lot of their players falling.
Yeah.
Coming to rebuy, adds up.
Now we've got Xenom with an attack side operator here. Something that we saw in our previous game that we just watched with G2 playing against Sentinels. Attack side ops really good on Abyss for being able to control defense aggression, which is the kind of thing you're expecting when KRU's economy's stuffed. This is bold from Cortezia.
Yeah, he is on an island. Time to start paddling. Don't know what raft you've got cooking, but okay.
Oh my god.
And that was realistically one of the only chances for Crew in this round.
Cortezia was feeling it there. He was going for the ace. But MIBR going away with a really easy one here. And they get up to 12. Yeah. When you see that smoke at the top, I think alarm bells should be ringing a little bit in Cortesia's head, but he's so confident and so aggressive. One of the things you'll note when he's on defense is he loves walking up, taking space, pushing. And he tucks himself into the corner, relying on his excellent aim to be able to pick up 3. Potential final round here. MIBR are going to look to close and get up to 13-7. Aspas at 28 kills. He's got the potential to drop a 30 bomb to get him across the line. And Crew, last chance.
MIBR set their sights over towards B once more because it's been where the success has lied. Slowing it down, posturing a little bit with the util.
Once more, Adazine trying to create pressure over towards that cliff jump up.
Did that get spotted?
Yes.
It might not even matter.
Look how easily Adazine is getting up here.
In through the back, Melter. A lot to be asked for of this guy. Steps up to that challenge. Just like that. Shoes on the other foot. Shanum? Yeah. You do not want them to be grabbing that. Not on the defense.
Yeah, Crew's economy is stressed. They're not going to be able to afford it. What a play by Melzer, though. Coming out of the tack timeout from Atom. Oh. Atom presumably talking about how to anchor against that B-site hit. Melzer's tucked underneath the bridge and then swings back out. Tanked a ton of damage in that position, by the way, but was able to catch the timing onto Adazine and Aspas. Adazine thinks it's free. He's been doing that since round 1. It's part of their game plan. I mean, round 1 of this half.
What if they come back?
Another timeout. Back to back to back tag timeouts.
Yeah, I mean, this is a slow burn towards potentially the tail end of this map. A lot of room to talk about it. I mean, both of the teams and coaching staff's going to be trying to come up with solutions for this one because it has been back and forth.
Crew were mostly playing B retake kind of style at the beginning of this half. So Frod may have realized, okay, clearly guys, we just ran into a stacked B site. They know that we're going to be heading over in that direction. They're putting bodies on the site. So then what's the adaptation? Is that going to open up mid? Does that mean we can go for a fast A exec? And Atom has to try to preempt the plan that Frod is currently cooking up. Does that mean something fast from Crew? Rip the initiative away from this Brazilian team. Still a gigantic task for Crew to get back into this map.
Exactly, so 4 rounds is what stands between Crew getting to OT, potentially standing a chance in this map still for MIBR. Obviously them calling that timeout, they are feeling that pressure to a degree. They want to try and close this one out here and now, before the money gets too bad, before give Crew too many more ins. It's going to be mind games on mind games occurring here. Round 21.
Kesnit suppressed, trying to take a fight over towards A main with a flash.
Quick peeks over towards mid. A couple of jump spots occurring from Crew's side of things, but they're going to use that drone. Mid-round information, gets the tag that he was looking for. Spotting out Aspas. It's going to spell out MIBR's game plan at least. Slow look towards mid. Cage down. In a spam, stray bullets, no targets to be found. No sort of connection, but
Cortesi has found another timing. Shine moved his Viper Orb. It wasn't in mid for them to be able to hold on. It's in A main this time. But the spike is going B.
And they just take the initiative. Crew realize that he's going to be lurking down there, and they barrel down the door anyway. Still, MIBR back over towards B. Slowly creeping, crawling forwards. Melter with a potential opening. The 140 does not get it done. Shy quick with the answer. Still has to give up that space onto the side, but a 3 versus 4.
Champion has to go for a play like this.
Yeah, risks in order. Necessary, in fact. And just about wrangles that rifle in control. Another repeat in order for him. But Aspas, again from that high ground, on anticipating the corner and a twist of turns. He can't be going for that. Absolutely ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Stepping up to close out map 2 and force us to go over to split where he'll be picking up his raise. He has found those excellent moments. What a 1v2 to close things out. Kesnit was just expecting him to be cowering somewhere else. And Ardazine delivers the Red Bull clutch. A really good map from MIBR there. I think they had very solid ideas of what to do against KRU, against the Viper, and showing that they can hang.
A well-earned third map there for MIBR. Staying alive in the tournament, keeping KRU sweating.
Map 3
to play for, man.
Map 3, we are going to have so many sick, aggressive moments from the double duelist potentially from Ardazine and Aspas against that defense that has normally been so great from KRU.
Yeah, a lot of questions, but we're going to get answers on the other side of this one. Do not go anywhere, because the culmination of this elimination game is going to be occurring on the other side of this.
Welcome back, everyone. We are all knotted up in this series 1-1 as we get ready for Split. I'm Golden Boy along with Mimi and Ender, and well, folks, Aspas did the thing again.
The Aspas thing.
He's very good at the video game. Don't know if we told you that one before, but here's the thing: robbed of his 30. Robbed of his 30.
But
It's
still,
29.
he like single-handedly brought this game back,
really
let's be honest. Because KRU started off cooking. They won a couple rounds to get started off that pistol, and then towards the end of that first half, Aspas absolutely came online with the operator. The ace round with the Blade Storm, him heating up was the turning point for MIBR.
Yeah, he sort of had these like 3 rounds in a row that he single-handedly won, and after that, I just don't think KRU ever really regained their composure in the server, because again, they had some good rounds at the start. I think their A main hits were working just like they were working up against their match against NRG, but truthfully, this is the round where it all started slipping away.
This map to me was the initial offering of what MIBR was kind of coming to fruition, right? You looked at this team in the offseason and you thought, Aspas, best duelist player in the world. One of, but probably the best duelist player in the world.
Don't even pull back.
Don't mitigate.
I feel like after that we can just flat out.
Yeah, the best player in Valorant, alongside a team of new guys. And then you have Cortesia, this super exciting rookie coming up from Tier 2 who absolutely cooked in the offseason. And he was kind of rough his first map. He was solid in the lower bracket. But this game, he really rose up. And this was him and Ospas just putting on a show of insane mechanics to win out of bits against KRU.
Yeah, it was a combination of a lot of these like really high impact frags Cortezio was finding on those mid lurks. And then Ospas 3Ks, 4Ks, 5Ks, just doing everything.
Yeah,
I got bored of it after a while because it was just like, okay, it's just
there
more
he is.
Ospas
Ospas got an ace. Huh?
Yeah, whatever.
Credit to Cortesia, though. He did a really great job of finding these timings on their attacking side up mid. I think the team also did a really good job setting him up, applying the pressure, letting him get into these late lurking positions, and that duo just stealing the show, really.
Now, folks, this is it. We're down to just the final map. The stakes couldn't be any higher for both of these teams here. You win, you move on to this competition, get a date with Sentinels tomorrow, but if you lose, your kickoff run ends here. No Masters Bangkok for you. A lot on the line for both of these teams. For KRU, an opportunity to go to a Masters. They haven't done that since Copenhagen. For MIBR, as an organization, a massive achievement. And imagine how the feather in the cap that Ospas would have taking MIBR.
Right?
You know,
they're kind of two sides there. MIBR has been pretty much the worst organization 2 years running in terms of performance in Americas, and Ospas has been on the best teams. And to show him coming into this MIBR team and having a complete turnaround to be in the top 3, to have a chance to go even deeper, I think it would really prove to me that he is the ultimate kingmaker that can single-handedly turn a team around.
Every single team that this guy touches just turns to gold.
Yeah.
Like seemingly
at this point, you can't argue with the results, right?
It's shocking. And I don't know, like to see so early on that it's working with MIBR. We'll see though, because again, one map can change your story so quickly, right? Like, think back to a Sentinels last year. They lose versus G2. They might not even make it to Madrid to win it all. A Sentinels or a KRU and MIBR here. One map, and we never get to see that chance.
And for KRU, they've always been the team of late season revivals at the end of the year, coming out, barely making champions.
This is a new look for them, right?
This is new, right? KRU's always been a top team in Americas, right, towards the end of the year. But starting strong like this would be such a statement for them, and being able to close out this series would be a great step in that direction for these guys. It's been 3 years since they made a Masters. I know it would feel damn good to be back together with some of their earliest teammates in Valorant, getting to do that in 2025.
Now, let's set the stage, though, for what we can expect going into map 3, because it's split.
Yes.
And I'm excited because that means we might get Artson on the race.
We are.
We
getting
have
him on the race, right? And this is actually a map where he can outfrag Ospas. We saw that in the last time they won this map going into overtime with a really powerful second half coming on through. So this is a map where I think especially KRU's defense is going to be tested. I think KRU's defense has been their strong point, but now they're contesting against a double dive comp. We saw that not work out so great for MIBR on Bind, but on Split, this is a comp
very different,
very skilled at, and Artzin is frying on the race with it.
But when we saw this comp come out for one of the first times, it was a surprise to see a team returning to a double dive look in 2025. But now KRU knows this is coming. This is a comp they have not only played against a ton, but played themselves a ton in the past. So I imagine Adam has put a lot of work, knowing the Split would show up, into how to counter out this double duelist competition. So I think, or this composition, excuse me. So I think MIBR is really going to have to dig deep in this game.
Yeah, for sure. I think things that MIBR are going to be looking to do that KRU have to be watching out for, are there's like pinches, whether it's, double duelist diving in towards A heaven, one up from ramp, the Rays going over towards rafters, or pinches into vents too, right? A lot of the time if you have a mid anchor, Viper, smokes, whatever, trying to sit out in mid, teams with this Rays jet will just send flying on you trying to catch a timing where you've got the util in hands to try and punish.
All right, well, map 3 is on the way, and this is it. Winner moves on, loser goes home. Let's send it back over to your casters. But first, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
let's get to it then. Map number 3 on the line between these two teams, man. Wouldn't happen any other way as well. And this is for all the marbles. I mean, the desk has been teeing up. It's elimination, of course. We've been talking about that. But to have that chance of a ticket to Bangkok, to have a chance to make an international event, it could end here.
Yeah, I mean, they were bringing up that the last time KRU qualified to a Masters event was at Copenhagen, if you can cast your memory back all the way then. Now, that was also the last time that Kesnit was able to beat Aspas, if you recall, all the way back to that time. So is there something in the water, perhaps? They would have to do a great job here, honestly, KRU. We've seen both of these teams play a couple times before on Split this season, but personally, I'm loving what I see from Aspas and Artzine. I think that's going to be very tough for KRU to stop. And so this opening half is the one I'm most interested in. Can Shy and Adverso, the anchors, the defensive players from KRU, shut down the double dive? When Artzine, while IGLing, by the way, has looked so marvelous on the attack raise.
Big questions. And honestly, I'm hoping for that carnage, a clash between these players.
Kesnit didn't quite have the same level of explosive impact you'd hope for from a Jet on Abyss. And I think he'll be bringing it here on Raze. He's always good for the big Raze performances on maps like this. And he's been, the past 2 times we've seen them play, he's been pretty confident. He's been running it down.
Yeah, he definitely has. Well, here we go. Slow, steady to begin, but not quite through mid. That's Artzine leading the charge. Trailblazer inside the smoke. There will be no safety. Granted to you, Kesnit's Boombot getting into the action, getting into the fray, and a few tap straight bullets, anticipating the angles.
Ridiculous.
Kesnit just walked straight into it. Shy getting active, getting cheeky, flooding through in through the bottom section. Not enough to stop this MIBR train rolling.
Well, that was a fast round. Hold on to your seats, because I think the rest of this half is going to be pretty similar. MIBR like to take it quick. And KRU, they had an anti-strat there. Inside the smoke, paranoia in the face. How Artzine still managed to get a kill out of that? I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
He's stunned by his own team's Trailblazer. And yet, in the midst of both players being stunned, the frenzy, I guess, just with the bit better fire rate comes out on top.
I mean, that's a look at the disgust on the face of Shy there. Definitely trying to do the most here, but okay, once more. No slowing down with the opening beginnings.
No, and MIBR were doing a lot of this kind of defaulting, taking a ramp at the beginning of the round, resetting. They can go back into an A hit, or they can look to reinforce the mid lurk. Now, you are worried about a stack here if you're thinking from Artzine's IGLing perspective. And that's where you'll normally see Cortesia or Nozwa going first, because they're the players with just the pistol. Instead, it's both of the duelists just looking to power their way into A heaven.
Yep, shoulder peeking out gives the acknowledgement. Don't worry, potentially, about these players here. Will anybody else be coming out of the woodwork to try and help this one out? Aspas fast forwards and good awareness. Just knows that he has to clear that spot. Not quite accounted for yet with the hit that's coming through onto this side, and this is just no remorse gameplay.
Yeah, they're running them down. I mean, there are spots where I think a lot of teams would be cautious to dash the Phantom into the A site. Aspas is like, no, I'm just better. I'll just do that. I'll just do that.
I'll simply win the fights.
So Melz is left alone. He was the sole player left to guard B. And he witnessed his brethren fall across the map. MIBR, with no losses, are going to be able to get a really nice bonus buy. Adverso arguably shouldn't be taking that fight too early on, because then he can play in Shy and play in Mazzino.
That's what I was wondering, if it was going to be the re-swing from anybody else that was playing around there, but it's awkward positions.
And it might be awkward timings and tempo for KRU to get a handle on. They need to get mentally in the right frame of mind to deal with the pace that MIBR are going to showcase.
Once more, looking like a bit of a B split. No util being thrown out at the beginning of this, though. Happy to walk up behind the wall.
Very cautious beginning, isn't it, from MIBR? A large tempo shift. Flash comes out over towards A ramp, and so you're fairly confident Cortesia is not over in that direction, though he could have been hiding in his Viper Orb.
Verso might be in a bit spot above her. No, not quite. Had some help with the rest of his team. Even this reposition, though, could be risky still. For the angle. Orb up to replace it. Nozwa. Oh my. Gets the one, gets out.
Oh,
He had the spike.
he needed to escape there. He had the spike on his back. KRU could have won the round straight up if Mazzino had found that pick. But KRU looking great on this one. Adverso may have made the play to win the round already. They're in a 4v3.
Chance of a timing here because the dog didn't quite spot it. Up to MIBR to see if they can grasp it though.
30 seconds left.
But Nosworth still has double flashes.
Okay. Final one for Mazzino. Used though, and that's going to get that acknowledgement that there's players up through mid. Big setup. Shy going to be trying to anchor this A spot. He's got the cam up and over as well, so he spots them out with only 13 seconds left to play with. It's inevitable at this point. You can call for the rotations coming in, but Shy needs some help, and he needs it now. How much can they set up really do? Beautiful with a dodge and a flash as well, but that's a spike out committed, and if you had a dream of trying to win this one out, it's dusted.
That's a sick play
Good.
from Shy.
That's
Turns
good.
that flash beautifully. MIBR a little indecisive. It was their bonus. Just looking to try to do some damage, I think. See if the KRU players were going to get baited into anything. And they have some level of an idea of what the Cypher setup looked like. Shy actually doing a pretty similar one. Nosworth was going for a lot of these solo flash plays on Bind and getting heavily punished for it.
No bonus conversion though. Not here and now, so KRU. A little bit of pressure being let off them.
So not the fast A ramp default from MIBR, but a bit more of a slow look. The Viper setup from Cortesia allows them to deny information and work players up there, but are they going to actually take the space?
Posturing for now. They pulled out a bit of the util that does get broken, but spells it out. For KRU, got to be aware that you're losing control over towards main and ramp. Flash as well for that extra piece of acknowledgement.
But they're not actually rotating anybody to A.
No. Creeping up through mid, spotting the players.
A nice idea there if there was somebody playing in vents. If Adverso had been in that spot, probably would have been caught, as Mazzino is.
Yep.
Wall goes down and had no escape.
Curtain drops, fade to black.
Good.
And what is going to be the call here for MIBR? Now the spike is in spawn, by the way.
Yeah, this is really weird.
This is all over the place, man.
You don't really have too much time to even... Where are
30
they
seconds, you've been paused, you've been stunted. Up through mid, what is the call to be made? Catching onto the angles. He's still in control of this one, but okay, tracking out of the sky. Plucking a few of these players out of the picture. Verso trying to account for that swing. Trying to meet their match tempo for tempo. And those who are left with no chance, no choice, but now he's going to stick that plan down. Gets a renewal. Couple more seconds to play with and Shy. Left to do it all in a 1v2.
Both stacking. Yeah.
MIBR players. That's what Cortesia, shoulder to shoulder. Holding any of the potential repositions, and it's a difficult one for Shy. Might have a chance to maybe isolate the one. Majority of sight not even clear, but Shy hears the footsteps now and knows at least there's going to be one player towards CT, but the wick is burning. Right
Oh my god! Yeah!
Seconds to play
Oh my god!
Is on the floor with that. That is ridiculous.
Crazy!
I mean, we know that Shy is good, but how's he won that one? He had no information about where these players were playing up until the final kind of 5 seconds of the round. What a reset!
No chance at all.
Oh, what a beautiful angle. Even Atom can't believe that one.
Obviously.
He's just done it all and so calm. He's looking at the crowd like, what? That's just a normal day.
Back to the fast tempo plays by MIBR. The slow play, I mean, dwindling down their options. Clock is one of their worst enemies. This time, increase up the heat. That's passing through the back of the side. He's got that Trailblazer, but Shy has maneuvered. He's weaved his way back and around. He's going to be using that damage, seeing if they get themselves in. Aspas! Where's he found that? 2 knives straight to the head. That's surgical precision. Calling for the pause here.
2v4. I think they'll. I think they'll.
Go for that plan, but
They're saving.
Yeah. It looks
I'm
like
not sure. They might have been thinking it was a pivot. See what they do? Yeah, they're just staying up in B heaven.
At this point.
Wow. What a way to use Aspas. Think about what he did there. He updrafted, dashed into the site with an Astra stun towards the back. So he is entrying, but he's not breaking trips. He's not actually allowing his team to get in through the choke that easily. But when all of the attention then from KRU is focused on the players in A main, Aspas swings back out from the backside of B and collects 2. One onto the player trying to anchor, and then one onto the player trying to flood in heaven. We'll potentially see it in the replay, but it's a really nice way of having a player that isn't always just going to be hunting for the kills to allow the game to come to him and still have enormous impact.
That's Aspas at his core, really. It's a percentage player.
Yeah, take a look at this one. I mean, that's ridiculous from Noswa, but here you see him just in a position that you would almost associate with site anchoring itself.
Yeah.
Helping his teammates get in, not by causing a distraction, but by baiting them to get all of those kills. And I'm not mad about it at all. A 1.38 KPR is ludicrous.
Yeah.
I mean, the best players ever are getting like an average of 0.9 or something.
Cements how truly different this guy is. Flashes are exchanged, a bit of a handshake occurring up towards A ramp, and slower pace as well is called for, because with the weapon in the hands of Aspas, one bullet through the wall, the second one through the chest, that'll do the job.
Adverso is looking to try to take a fight in mid. That's a 140.
Yep. Backing away.
Aspas determined not to burn his dash as well. He has such incredible discipline on when to pop that dash. Still available for them to get through choke points.
Wasted moments.
It's
Part of the
5v4.
MIBR game plan is to do these squeezes through mid and A ramp so that you can't really play vent against them. Here again, Artesine has gone through mid. Mazzino's not going to expect it.
Yeah, Mazzino's just making all the noise in the world, so Artesine was happy. Take him out of the fight. Shy cuts up, beneficial angle, but okay, he's been supplemented, helped out by Kesner with that rifle in hand, picked up the upgrade inside of the cage, reveals a lot, dashing away, Aspas clean enough with the movement, Pixel to the angle being held, and the spam through the wall, unfortunately, not enough to stand his ground against most of that one. Adverso! Quick peek, but almost as quick as that, he's going to be
KRU should do something.
And there you see the
It's
dynamic that
2-4.
you get on split between Artesine and Aspas. Artesine can become the hard entry in a round like that where Aspas has Outlaw. And it just puts Aspas in such a comfortable position, trading out his teammates.
Yeah.
KRU have got some problems here. It's tough for them to be able to get the same value anchoring. You got to deal with 2 huge threats on the side of MIBR. And also, MIBR's defaulting is putting a lot of pressure onto the way that Adverso would like to hold.
I like how he just sleeps.
When you're holding
Oh my
put
god.
that orb down in the middle.
That's
and they're gonna
crazy.
try
He
to make
just
their
sleeps.
positioning, flexible. So when the orb goes up, you don't know if they're in mail or if they're in vent.
Repositioning.
Yeah.
Hear a bit of Uto, you can lay a snake bite down, but
the way that MIBR are taking a ramp control makes vent really tough to play inside of.
They took their timeout. I'm going on a pee break.
Just so that Adverso knows the A ramp pinch into mid is safe. We'll see what kind of adjustment Atom goes for coming out of this timeout. But this should be the favored half for MIBR. KRU can keep the mental straight, knowing that they don't need to rack up a ton of rounds this half. They just have to hold on, keep their head above water.
It's going to be a difficult ask for them in this round at least, though. Trying to come up with a game plan, how you're going to counteract what KRU are doing, which is, like you said, it's the fast ramp take, which just makes it so uncomfortable for Adverso to play around. It looks like they are putting more of a presence there, but I was going to say, if Artesine is the one taking it, he has a showstopper to take the fight. He's not. He's on the other side of the map.
He's actually boombotting early towards B, which makes it feel like a B-leaning default. You see immediately, Shy and Adverso start moving over towards B. Everyone's moving over towards B. The hard read on that boombot.
Because why would the Raze be alone?
And the Artesine's IGL has sold this really nicely. He's created a weakness on A.
Only the Viper
Cortesia.
spotted. Yep. As you were about to mention, big information.
They've missed the timing a little, though, to commit to an A exec.
I
So
do worry.
instead, spread back out.
Yeah, because time has been an issue for MIBR when they try and slow down with this composition.
And yet they have been able to brute force through those moments.
Trip broken.
What a pit.
Yeah, pit to stunt any potential push up through B.
They're still worried about A heaven because Mazzino's flash was, I don't think, perfect there.
39 seconds. They haven't broken any of this util though, Shy. With the one way. It's a nade, so he's forced to reposition here, and with that ult on top of it! No way! My God, man! Shy trying to get back straight into the action once more. It's to supplement his team's defense. Tucks himself into the corner. Awareness off the charts, Raspas. Maybe just hearing tap of the footsteps, but nobody holding heaven for him. So caught the bullet to the side of the head, but luckily Nosware there. Able to trade this one out. Melzer left now into that 1v2. Might be able to catch that reposition, not quite.
And Nosware comes up with the goods. Yeah, he allowed Aspas to die. Not holding Evan the first time, but instant on the trade and shuts down Melzer before Melzer can come out with any of the clutch magic that we've seen from him in other days in this tournament. KRU lose a devastatingly important round there. Trip actually caught onto Artzine, but the teammates are breaking it instantly, allowing him to still surge forwards with that showstopper. And Frod's happy about that one.
Yeah, it's a big round. Right back into round 8. Slower beginning again, so not too much action is going to be missed.
And I think Artzine is actually doing a great job with his IGLing, trying to mix things up. We saw the boombot at the start of the previous round that pulled all of the defense.
Yeah.
But I'm watching Kesnit in a lot of these rounds just ping pong from B heaven to A heaven, trying to put himself in the right place.
Yeah.
And he's kind of getting it, but they haven't had a great read.
Refight called.
Oh, he's so lucky.
Artzine just slipped his way through there, man. Ridiculous stuff. 1 steps forward past the wall.
He goes forward again.
We'll be going down. This is where issues lie. Again, listen, it hasn't bit MIBR too badly. Easier. Oh, that's a Bucky. That's a Bucky. That's a Bucky. Still, he's got around it. A little bit worse for the wear, but still with his life to play with, and now just calling for the rotation. So that snakebite did not connect, it did not catch the drop down. Going forward versus right there into the corner, and Kesnit meanwhile taking names in other areas of the map. That was up through heaven. Immediately going to take that reposition. And Shaynam, do you anticipate this? This is just ridiculous, man! Shy, he's been so consistent, but couldn't quite hit that one.
Can Kesnit and Adverso get rifles? I don't think so. They're prioritizing speed. Kesnit's got 1 blast pack.
Yeah. Not too much in terms of weaponry. It's a safer plan. Up to the corner. 11 bullets left. Jumping through and away. Kesnit can't get that done once more. Nosware has to be the player with safe hands. Delivers it once more.
And that's 2 rounds in a row that Nosware has come up good for the team. He's 8-2. What a recovery from a horrendous beginning to this series. On Bind getting caught out constantly, warmed up a bit on Abyss, and now he's delivering really important moments. When things are getting sloppy and scrappy, he's there to pick things up. Because Kesnit can absolutely hit those.
And also was low there too, 29 health.
KRU need this one. They absolutely need this one. They're down 6-2. They just need to keep their heads above water in this defense half. Adverso would love to play around this orb.
The unbreakable trip, though, if they walked up to it and pre-fired it, they'd spot him there. So I think he realized that and had to reposition.
And you see KRU, the adjustment that they've made is to fight much more heavily over A main, so Adverso's back is kept safe.
Trying to give a bit of that peace of mind and attack side with the operator, Aspas. He heard the jump spot, I believe.
Yep.
Here's a swing and a fight, an attempt of it at least from KRU. Almost lucky to be alive, but pixel angle. Backing away here, 50 seconds left to play within the round. Trailblazer, attempt to break it. Flash getting that recognition now up towards a ramp. Worried about mid control though. KRU have got their backs to multiple of these angles, and the pack of MIBR, these players are now going to start to swiftly be swarming over towards A. The nades ricocheting, Addison double satchel, shorty in hand, and he's made mincemeat up towards the top of the rafters. A lot to do for Melzer, but just too much to watch for. Angles broken up, tossing and turning. Satchel is nice, but Kesnit taken down and brought down anyway. Picks up the operator out into the open. Where is the spike this entire time happening? 10 seconds left. You're going to cross into the open. Mistakes. A potential chance for Shy. Almost crossing it. And hopping around the corner. 4 seconds. You've got to stick this one. Cortesia knows it. And so does Shy. Leaving it into the 1v1. Chances on chances. Barely a shoulder.
Oh.
Shy. Once more.
It was here. My heartbeat was high.
The anchor.
That was so crazy.
The crew can rely on.
Huh?
Ever needed. Defense side, Shy is there for them. Red Bull clutch comes through. Artazine, how has he got that entry? It's absolutely absurd. And Aspas was cycling between the Phantom and the operator to try to make it happen. Another scrappy and chaotic round.
Mate, they left
this time Shy gets on top.
He did. I don't want to downplay it. That's what it takes for crew to get themselves back in. They're going to take it.
I mean, but I'm worried about Aspas here. We saw what he did with the Blade Storm.
I'll be making another go of things fast. Ramp take. Lines up and around. That's a dash active early. Heaven is open. Wants to try and take it to them. That is precise. Locking on. Heads will fall. One left to do. And picks up the gun in the process. Still smoke dissipating as teams cleaning up behind him. And now a quick maneuver and a pivot. Out through mid and away.
It's a joy watching this guy. He's outrageous. Got his
The
team
भागता ही
into a 3v2
रहता है
with an
भाई.
open B site as well. The call to pivot. Masterful. Crew are going to need another huge round from Shy or Melzer.
And how often can you ask it of these guys over and over and over again? Neural theft. Players tacked up into the top section of B Heaven. Revealing it, but dropping down. Trying to put a bit of confusion into the play. This is rapid though. Early fight to be taken. Positions are a little bit awkward. Out into the open, only 4 bullets left. Aspas forced to reposition, but not accounting. Bashana just up top. And not enough life to survive that. It's an onslaught of bullets. And a 7th round from MIBR.
When you think about Aspas on the attack side, you're picturing moments like this. It's so similar to round, I think it was 8 on Abyss, where he's going for the retake and flying up in the air, destroying everybody with the Blade Storm. But here, he just navigates with his movement and his fight isolation so well. It was like he was invisible as well. The rest of crew just couldn't pay attention to him in the midst of all of that. And he's done it. He's given them another outrageous round to knock crew's economy and take 7.
It's genuinely unbelievable at times. And the fast ramp takes. They have not failed MIBR so far. Any answer from crew?
Well, they're going for something different this time, right? Taking mid, going for a bit of a flank retake attempt, perhaps?
You know, the Trailblazers going to be living up to the namesake. They know it's an open site. They've given up full Heaven control and ramp control. They put the squeeze down. If Shanum goes down, retake could be possible. Still, the pit's going to be another problem to deal with. Still, Shanum just can't quite survive that. Too many bodies. Just to account for, picks up that gun and now getting a rapid takeaway. Crew trying to go for this retake straight back into the mix. That's not the gun of choice to be taken against Aspas. Still, tucks himself into the corner and weaving in and out. Just spells doom out, man. This is MIBR that are running away with this first half.
In the half.
This should be the half where they're favored. MIBR with double duelists, and Aspas is 16 and 6. Norswer as well has been picking up amazing kills at various times throughout this map, but crew need another.
Yeah.
They need it. MIBR even took the pistol in this half as well. Crew need every chance they can to be able to pull this back once Kesnit can get the entries.
Yeah, I don't know.
So far, despite what Shy has been able to put together, crew are struggling. This is their chance at Bangkok slipping away from them.
That's what these teams are playing for. Just a chance at this point. There's one more match to play even before this one, but you don't want to go out at this point. So close to that potential finish line. And here's an answer. There's a flash into the face of a few of these players. Mazzino squares up, takes the fight. He's one of them, but does he want to try and take the second? And these players almost lining up, and Verso is doing good work out towards mid.
The tactical adjustment from Crew
4v2 now.
that fight over towards A main, it works, and Adverso also able to pick up 2. So Atom's done what he can in terms of adjusting their defensive setup. Now they've just got to close out the 4v2.
Oh, good job.
4th round for Crew. Makes it more feasible. Pistol round, you're practically back into it. Wall dropping down, gives that timing. Double faced up. Spike in the open. Shaynam's got a lot to do. Double face. Good discipline towards the end. So 4 rounds earned for Crew.
I think they're going to need a pistol coming out the back of this as well.
Yes, definitely. They'll need it.
Kesnit's normally remarkable in these kind of spots, but they need a strat, a pistol round, and a really explosive attack half. Because I said they needed to keep their heads above water. They are barely treading water in this map. So close to drowning.
Exactly right. That pistol round is going to be vitally important on the second half of Split. It's map 3. We're going a distance, and I cannot wait to see how this all ends up.
So break! I like it. This seems nice, right?
Listen, early days in the 2025 season, but for these teams, this is all that matters, the here and now. Because, as we've been mentioning, it's elimination, and your chance of going to Bangkok to represent your region on that big global stage where the best of the best really just culminate and potentially grab a title. Listen, it could all end here, dashed to ashes.
Crew are down 4-8. They need this pistol round. By the look of it, it's going to be some kind of B exec. And MIBR are already one step ahead of them. They're playing a retake A setup with Aspas on the Sheriff. And to get through here, you have to get through like a pull or a stun. And then there's also a raise nade. It looks set up for MIBR to be able to defend. Kesnit is going to have to pull something incredible out.
Yeah, big focus. 3 players looking over towards mid, but they can quickly pivot and turn their sights over towards B. Smoke propped up. Shaynam's got to be careful of this one. Attempt to reposition. Cuts up, he can hear that util.
There's the pull, there's the nade.
Forces it out, but the players are already in the sight. Crew, they need this one, they're desperate for it, but listen, they're going straight into the meat grinder! That is MIBR!
What?
What a read!
Ew.
Right from the setup, Artazine knows exactly what's going on. The prep work, the anticipation.
That's just sad.
Like
That's
said,
just
meat
sad.
grinder. They tried to get through a choke.
They had walls up.
And MIBR had every piece of utility ready and waiting for them. Brutal, because now we've actually seen that a few times in this series. Where MIBR have had the perfect response. The prep has paid off so well for this squad. And now they're 9-4 up.
I didn't like that play at all from
Then
Crew.
deciding not to force. They didn't get enough kills. They didn't get the plan. They don't have the money to go for some kind of force here. They just got to accept the fact that MIBR are likely to get up to double digits.
It's desperation at its core. It's a nade at the feet, and also will have to respect that one, get themselves into the site. Maybe a chance here, but the plan going down.
A push into screens?
Yeah, you got to fight for something. Take control of the map in some way or form, at least try and force the issue with your pistols in hands, but this is where the squeeze is occurring. Already fast through ramp, out through main. Trailblazer not been broken in time. Pistols out, weaponry online, not accounting for the corner, twisting, turning. Melzer and Shy, maybe a chance still. Tucked to the corner once more. This is 3 players left standing here for MIBR. And damage is being done to Shenum. But what can one man do? Kesnit stood alone and cleaned up eventually. 3 left standing for MIBR. It's going to be healthy going into that bonus.
Yeah, they managed to save a judge. Artesine was loving using the judge when the last time MIBR played on Split. KRU are 6 rounds down, trying to find the answers, running into brick walls. The push over towards screens didn't do too much. MIBR just flipped, took full ramp control. And even though they didn't clear Shy very well, and you could say it got a little dangerous, at the end of the day, they're in full control of all of these angles on the retake. KRU need a miracle. They need a miracle worker. It's been Shy. It's been Melzer on previous days, but he's down at the bottom of the scoreboard today, and it's Kesnit to open things up.
Exactly so. That duelist head-to-head.
Espas gaya. Espas down. Espas is down.
It's an opening. And a cut in noise just to really make sure that you put a bit of despair in the back of the heads of these MIBR players. Wondering where they could be, maybe forcing a reaction out of them. It's a bonus at the end of the day.
Yeah, Adverso was calling these really slow rounds on Bind if you think back to map 1. And there he's rewarded. Cortezia looking for more information in heaven.
Also might even go for a bit of a peek of his own, but just tucks himself tight. Orb committed, everybody holding onto the smokes as well. 50 seconds, dwindling down into the round, but KRU are in the driving seat.
Really nice
snake bite nade. Nade actually missed there, but he's already revealed his hand just by a bit of a spamming through the main choke point. So
very patient.
Yeah.
Waiting out the full duration of that smoke from Shenum.
See, this is so good.
For Noswa.
And they don't have good weapons.
KRU being calm and patient despite the fact
See?
that it is
Told
a
you.
bit desperate for them in this match.
Yeah.
They're not rushing things. You just got to take it one round at a time when you're in a hole like this.
Artesine will hope that he can play for a couple of exits.
Yeah, and more so than that, he actually wants to try to get his Raze ult online.
He's 3 away.
So it's worth throwing yourself in here. You don't want to die to the spike. Then again, he might want to save the judge. Like I say, he was doing a lot of playing around with the judge in a previous game.
He's not going to get a chance to. John? Well, no.
Is he dying to the spike? Okay. Fair enough then. Doesn't manage to get another charge on that ult. And he also doesn't get to keep the judge in. But he's going to upgrade to a Phantom here. The Aspas operator. We've seen him do mystical things with this along that A line. And he's now got that fantasy team up with Noswa. A player he wanted to play with last year.
Yeah, he did.
And now they're finally on a team together. And they're the little duo that's going to be looking to try to lock down that A main.
22 kills already.
Influence. Dare I say hand-picked almost in terms of players that he would like to play with. Look at what he's been able to do with them. Brought MIBR back up to that relevancy.
This is a nice position from Melzer. You get an angle into vents above the Viper Orb. Tough for Cortezia to play around.
Aspas. There's no dash active. Seem to be aware of the potential of that angle still. Smoke pops up and now he chases!
What?
My God!
Whoa!
Still Adverso. He's slipped himself through the gaps, but he is responded with and brought down to his knees. So, evened up 4-4. Artesine could have been caught unaware there. Still, the snake bite layer down. That's a spike hard committed. Mazzino has left it into the open arms of the enemy. And now Shorty, do you dare cross past that smoke? They don't quite have it.
They don't have the spike.
They don't have it. Cortezia doesn't want to really go even for that reload. Backs himself away. Paranoia sweeping through. It's a double hold though. Oh, Melzer.
He's trying to fake it, but they, I mean, they're going to know 100% that this is headed B.
The play is primed and ready. Artesine though, losing that fight out still from the back. Shenham, the Guardian in hand, bring around the Rosies, but only 11 seconds to play with. And Milser, yeah, not long for the world there. It's 11 rounds now for MIBR.
MIBR is going to the next round.
Only 2 away from securing their
Yeah.
position to be able to take
KRU is
on
eliminated.
Sentinels in that lower bracket
KRU
final.
is definitely eliminated.
A timeout called. Atom hits the panic button. What a flick that was. That's
Ooh.
defense. Yeah, okay. These are the spots, though, in like 2v3 scenarios where KRU were coming up with magic in the previous games. You know, Shy would hit something ridiculous, and then Melzer would be playing a clutch masterfully. Melzer hasn't come online today. He's 4-13. We're not seeing those moments from him, but I don't want to put the focus on just him. The rest of KRU haven't really come alive today in the same way that we were seeing them last week.
Haven't seen it.
Maybe a bit of that heat just being... The passion maybe flaring a bit too high last week and taking a bit of a dip this week.
Listen, the win against T2G.
T2?
I was about to say 2 glue. At one against 2G, they got the confidence and the passion back. And it really did set KRU up on a run. You know, that heat was behind them, and they were just dismissing opponents that they were going up against with cool ideas as well, but clutch potential, and the players were hitting on an individual basis. But so far, MIBR have not let really any weaknesses show. There's been nothing to grasp on. Occasionally, Shy's been able to clutch up a round or two from a couple of misplays, and it hasn't been the cleanest gameplay in the world, but this is domination. This is MIBR 11-5, and as you said, 2 rounds away from making it to that lower bracket finals.
They're going to try to take some A control, and this is where Aspas is at home with the operator. You expect him to be on an aggressive line, but he's actually taking a bit more of a passive approach. Waiting out this utility, hoping that Nozwa could spam that dog down, actually.
And he didn't, so he has to hide himself away. TP's up.
Does he go for the re-peek with the dash?
Wait a minute. Wait a second, the peek. I'm not sure if anybody spotted him. Was that trigger discipline? Did they know he's on this line? Still, they wade right into him.
Doesn't even use the dash.
No. Doesn't go for the re-peek. Doesn't want to be too predictable here. Nades are going to be ricocheting, rebounding, clearing out the vents area. And what is a call to be made by KRU? Already a player down. Time is of the essence. No slowing this one. No control over towards ramp. They realize the importance of it. Shy's going to be backing away, trying to hold on to main control. Plant down, but it's not really for heaven. The paranoia sweeping through, but it's open access. No one was playing there. The attempt of a pick by KRU doesn't get anything.
No, KRU pressured over towards screens. Last time MIBR went for a retake, they dominated ramp. This time, doesn't look like that. It looks like they're going to float through heaven.
It's here. It's all about the rifles in hand. Aspas rapid to respond, and like a rocket, Adazine's in. Still, as he overstepped himself, backing it through, weaving in and out as a Cosmic Divine to deal with, and still KRU. Calm and collected.
A 4v5 post, and they only lose a single player. MIBR actually not very well coordinated there with Ardazine's double blast pack play.
Oh, so,
And maybe that would have been the kind of time to go back to that previous retake protocol. Go and retake some ramp control. Go and try to deal with Shy early on. They just thought they could send it. KRU have been offered an opening. They've got the rifles. They're starting to build up to the ults. Is there a way back into this?
It's getting built up steadily, bit by bit. Any chance to pave your way to victory here? Obviously, it's going to start back there, and the orbs farmed up. MIBR are going to be taking risks with it. They're close to ults of their own, and they realize, listen, there is a timer ticking in terms of a macro sense. MIBR can just try and play to build up the ults, build up the economy.
That's Bucky.
They only need 2 rounds.
Yeah, I think next round is going to be massively important. You see, Showstopper, Ardazine's probably going to have his. Aspas can play around his Blade Storm if you like, and we've seen what he's capable of. KRU need this one, but they also kind of need to take it without using the Showstopper.
There's no effect. That's going to reveal Ardazine. You're going to be postured and pushed away from this position. TP's up into the side as well. Flashes dodged and juked, but it's chaos zone, isn't it? Look at that. It's a double TP play, so just a barrel poking out. Ardazine, where do you take this peak? Running and gunning to just beam them down. Mazzino has barreled them over.
That's a good play.
They made a
How
lot of
calm were
pressure there
they?
for Adverso to lurk his way up through B heaven, and then Mazzino barrels his way through. They didn't have to use the showstopper, still have that available for the next round. And the next round is where it becomes real. If there's going to be a comeback, Kesnit, Mazzino need to be getting big value from their ults. 7-11. Not too much of a gap, especially if KRU can keep applying pressure to MIBR's economy.
Certainly. As we've already mentioned, I mean, there's big ults earned up on either side. This is the upcoming round, really, the big moment, the turning point.
MIBR have got such inexperienced players on their team. They're great, don't get me wrong. I think Aspas and the other former Loud players who did a bunch of scouting to build this MIBR roster, along with Fraud and the people behind the scenes, they found two great talents in Shenom and Cortesia. But they're also fairly inexperienced compared to KRU, who've been on runs like this so often.
Yeah, there's moments like this where those weaknesses, the inexperience,
7-11.
pried open.
They certainly can.
Still, we'll see it.
No, they all have their ults ready.
The war chest is filled to the brim for KRU. So damn important with the money. Chance for KRU to keep that momentum up and make that comeback a reality.
Cortesia loves to play on these kind of aggressive angles, but it's so risky when Kesnit can just be on top of you with a showstopper at basically any moment. He backs it up a little bit here.
Not into B. They choose to do internet. There's the danger. Deep Trailblazer clears the way. They've got to have an inclination, MIBR that is, that this is going to be leaning over towards B now. The Seekers up through mid.
Why did they say it's A?
Majority of them over towards B, but there's no cancel call. All eyes up towards heaven. There is danger here. Barely. Still, ults offloaded, but no chance to pull the trigger. Cancel to the TP, and do you cancel the call? Not quite when Mazzino's hitting like this. Knives in through the back of the side. Shy takes up the position. It's a rapid approach, scales decently into the back, and with the pit laid down, what chances do they have, MIBR? Ult into the back pocket, potentially a window, and the showstopper is going to be called to be used! Ricocheting! And rifle play is working miracles. Melzer repositions and fakes it out. Does Odyssey believe it? It's a rainbow clutch. And we needed to see that step up from Melzer. He was drifting towards
Oh my
god.
god.
Don't get me wrong, but moments like that is what the team needed.
A beautiful Red Bull clutch from Melzer, like you said. That's what he was pulling out in previous matches. The pressure ended up being too much from Aspas. And I want to praise the macro corner as well here. A really nice idea from KRU. They've now run this same strategy twice, where you push 4 players super heavy through B main, and you have 1 lurker that comes in through B heaven. This time, instead of it being Adverso, it was Mazzino, but he got past Aspas' sightline, ducked in. They even smoked him off, and he walks through KRU's own smoke. Right now, Fraud in the tactical timeout needs to identify that problem. KRU have fully got the read that if you pressure mid early
3 more
on
rounds
and
to
then go over
match
towards
them.
B, MIBR give up mid utterly, and you can just walk in there with a player on a fast lurk timing. The comeback is truly on here. 3 rounds in a row for KRU. No answer from MIBR. Economy broken. KRU likely to get the gap down to only 2. Something that we were talking about on Abyss but never materialized. No. And yet, here it is in KRU's potential 11th hour.
All the right motions being made. Just can't let it slip. It's still a bit of an uphill climb for KRU. Not out of the weeds just yet.
No, MIBR are still going to have a couple other big opportunities with rifles before KRU get it even. But the comeback is certainly on.
Slow and steady gameplay here by KRU. They don't want to overstep themselves. You never know what MIBR or any team is going to be up to when they're on the weaker bye. Flash gets some level of clearance, a bit of peace of mind. And Aspas is the one who's holding down a majority of the site with a stinger in hand.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to their pistol round setup. Expecting, hoping that KRU were going to do the same kind of idea with that mid and B pressure. Aspas needs help.
Yeah, he needs help and he needs it now. Still with that stinger dash. You don't want to body block that guy still. Gets him out, gets the heal. Try and play this one for the retake.
They lost a 5v4 retake before, but a crucial difference here could be Cortezia on the flank. Shy getting pushed back into him by the dog.
Wait a minute. That could be the difference maker. The domino to topples potentially to end this already. Ram control, main control is theirs. The net tightening here, MIBR. KRU, they're trying to see if they can do a little bit more damage to it. Kesnet's left alone in almost an impossibility. He's being swarmed. They're chomping at his heels. Addison with a defuse, sticking this away. Has to go for the full reload here. And Aspas crouched down, primed and ready. It's always the rounds, like the thrifties themselves, man, you've got to be careful of.
Oh my god, Aspas is so good. Aspas is so good.
What a play though to punish Shy. Lovely timing to go for that kind of flank. But Cortezia wouldn't have been able to go for anything there on his own. He needed that help and the distraction from the rest of the team. Shy got squeezed. And Kesnet's both hands off the keyboard on his forehead. 4 rounds in a row required for KRU. Otherwise, MIBR have a date with Destiny and Sentinels in that lower bracket final.
And the Kingmaker himself, as we were watching, as he's been labeled, any teams that he touches just turning to gold, and he might just be spelling out the death blow. Respects the Trailblazer, breaks it away, denies a bit of that information. Updraft dash was going to be heard by KRU here, and they're poking and prodding, praying they can catch that reposition that Cortezia might be going for.
Aspas is looking for a bit of a re-explore towards B main.
Mid control is very important in this map.
And still, ADS up. There is that return of the fire and a trade in sight. So Kesnet maybe making it more of a possibility.
Ew!
Kesnet, head clean off. Not an easy shot, not in the slightest, but can you be surprised at this point? Repositions away, but no coverage up to heaven. Aspas has been dealt with. But now Shanum cannot get it done towards the back. This is KRU answering back, but straight back down into the fight. Addison repositions in a way. He's brought it to that 1v2, and a clutch is necessary, but not happening.
So close.
KRU playing a little chaotic here, but managed to get the work done. Aspas brought out a bit of magic, and they still managed to run him down. It's confidence, aggression, the standard KRU playbook ends up being really important for them, and Shy is so sharp with that one as well. He's tasked with getting the spike down and still manages to get off it to counter that B anchor. MIBR have actually got a big choice here. Do we invest? And they've decided no, except for the Aspas op. So it's a half-buy round, but with your star player still buying the defense operator. And they pit off the rip.
Yeah, it's a pit down and mid.
It's a bit confused, but it could get the job done anyway.
Limits the options for KRU to go for, but easy access to the orb as a showstopper earned. Lying in wait as Aspas. He's hoping for a bit of pressure, but it looks like that is not on the minds of these KRU players.
No. Because Aspas holds B, and because Cortezia holds mid, they can have a 3-player stack on A.
It's all about if Addison can survive in this spot right here. The flash does not connect. What timing does he choose to take? That's a showstopper. Ricochet, no damage to be done, but he's revealed the spot. And with that position, Addison no longer up through heaven. An attempt by Nozwa, dismissed almost single-handedly. Shanum, he's back into the fight here with a classic in hand. It's not enough.
KRU should have a really solid position to play this from now.
Obviously.
Looking to make the score 10-12. Aspas, you've got to imagine, is going to be saving the operator here, playing the most passive of angles. Dropped 25, by the way. What was he at, 29 on Abyss, I think? Didn't quite get the 30.
Man. Light work.
washed, in my opinion. Didn't get the 30 on Abyss.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, he's just been incredible for MIBR. But he's got to save this operator. And KRU are getting closer. It looked like a disaster, the Thrifty round that got MIBR up to match point. But here's another one of these chances that they haven't grasped.
No. This operator, Aspas can be mobile with it. Taking peeks intelligently, but just hoping it doesn't develop into a pair of shackles for him, because KRU just narrowly avoiding him, so taking over.
How calm are they?
Because otherwise they would have walked into it at some point over here on A. So a bit of a mind game set up now. Does Aspas take it towards that aggressive angle in A main? Does he play the heaven spot that he's been wanting to go for this game?
13-8, 8-13, and now 10-12. That's sick.
On defense anti, like they try to find spots against certain teams that work, which is why Aspas is playing this heaven spot so much. I've got to imagine.
Ardazine's up front. Tanking a flash, but I think it's just that second layer thing so we can break the Trailblazer if it wasn't broken through main, which it was.
So Aspas has been given a lot of support to keep his op online here. And you're trying to go into both of the star split players for MIBR. Aspas and Ardazine.
Snakebite at your feet, you're vulnerable up, Ardazine. Time to take the reposition. Up and around here, Aspas feeling that heat now emanating out. Let's pop the dash nice and early here, close to the corner, gotta get up. Nozwa has to do a lot, but he just cannot get it done.
I know exactly.
Heavy control still gonna be maintained, but KRU access to this site.
And there's the death ball kind of stuff that KRU are known for, that Valen was saying they're so good at.
Pack mentality. Shine.
They should hold bad now.
The rest of his team, though, just
They have to hold bad.
Make it a little bit harder to hold on to these angles. Up and above, holding the line. Kesnet, it's already answered with that kill, and again, any options are just limited at this point when you just have a 2v4 operator in your hands. Like I said, there's a chance of it just becoming the shackles that are just dragging MIBR down.
This has got so serious of a chance of going to overtime. They're going to be hunting for these guns, hunting for the operator.
It rebounds the smoke. It's good defensive util just that they can ensure that they keep these guns intact. You want to save the op.
But even with the op and the Vandal being saved, the money is still not in a good spot. KRU only need one more round to take us to OT in a decider map to get to the lower bracket finals at Kickoff, to fight for that final spot at Masters Bangkok, for the right to challenge Sentinels.
Crazy.
We're already there. We've already seen one team book their ticket today. KRU and MIBR, only one can survive. An attack timeout for the final round of regulation. Yeah. MIBR have had a bunch of chances here. They had 4 match points, and they've already squandered 3 of them. And I really think you're right, Brenda. The operator is becoming a bit of a problem for Aspas because KRU are being able to use enough util at the beginning of these rounds on A that they get into A post plants, and then what's he doing?
Yeah, trying to play retake with it.
I think one of the silver linings, though, you could actually run the same setup again, but Aspas now has Bladestorm, so he can pop that.
Yeah.
And he can be useful on the retake instead of just holding angles for his team. The tide has shifted here. It might feel like the momentum is all behind KRU, but from an ultimate standpoint, MIBR have the Bladestorm, which is going to help them retake with the op so much.
Look at this.
And Ardazine has the showstopper.
It's a showstopper Cosmic Divide as well. Like, listen, the chances are here for MIBR to stop it early. KRU, one more step is all they need to take to drag it to OT. There's tension in the air. You can see it on the players' faces, even during that timeout. Smiles, this point dissipated, because they know it's do or die. The operator has switched over into the hands of Ardazine. Aspas with the knives to play with and a stinger on top of it. It's a different look by KRU.
Yeah. Going for that A-ramp pressure early on, and then spreading out around the rest of the map. In fact, grouping up, looking like they want to go for a 1-minute pop into B. You see the pings on top of Shinom's face. There's going to be a lot of attention there, and Aspas has got to support by flooding out.
with the knives.
Well, here it is, Seekers. Gonna layer it all the way down here. We'll see what Aspas can do. Trailblazer needs to be broken. But a nice back out into his hands, seeing what he can do with it. A bit of a pause being caught here by KRU. They've steadied it, they've slowed it down. The rotations are caught, they've got a lot of bodies. MIBR close to the point of contact. Aspas dropping down, a footsteps might have been heard, and the flash does connect. Updraft and away. This is it. Time to make your moves and time to see if you can carve out a piece of the map. KRU, an attempt to be made here, but a stinger, the bullets rattling around. Down to the bottom, Alpha still claims 2.
Oh.
It's a 2v2 at that. A safe prime position, cut into the corner, showstopper! Narrowly avoided. It's double digits. Adverso is barely clinging on the nade rebound.
Oh.
But a bit of calm inserted.
And this is actually quite a tough retake. If Adverso had fallen, MIBR would be sitting pretty, but now they've got to break a crossfire.
What lies on this? Closure of the series, or OT on the line. Melza tucked up the crossfire setup, and damage done to him. Variety of them taking a peek at a scene, and Roswa with the 1-2 punch. MIBR dash away those hopes and dreams.
Crazy game though, bro. Crazy game. Definitely crazy game. That's sick.
To book that ticket to Bangkok.
Oh my god.
They have a meeting in the lower bracket final to fight for a spot at Masters. And we have
That
never
was
really been talking
crazy.
about that with this organization. Revitalized with the addition of Aspas, a player that originally was not even looking to be in Americas this year. MIBR changed their game plan,
That's so
changed their
crazy.
off-season roster construction completely.
It was fun. It was so fun.
Kingmaker, King Midas, Golden Touch, he's got it all. Helped with the construction of the roster, and now not just going for top 4, but top 3, maybe top 2.
Yeah.
At least at the start of the year here. And putting a stop to KRU's momentum, they looked like a juggernaut in the lower bracket. And yet with great preparation.
Yo, that was it. That was my stream today, and I hope you liked it. Also, congratulations to MIBR for qualifying to the Masters. Really excited to see how the Masters will roll out. So, see you again tomorrow, hopefully. And I'm gonna go and make dinner for me. See ya. And if you're new to this page, you're watching for the first time, do subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and all of the support is appreciated. Thanks so much. And that's it. Have a good night. If you're from Canada, have a good day. If you're from US, see ya. Bye. That's it for the live today. Woo!